It's a bold assumption that these hermit crabs are even capable of advanced thought.
I mean, the desire for poon is a pretty unadvanced thought.
That's true.
True.
That's a very primal thought, yeah.
It's just instinctual.
But the capability to like reason your way through, if we accomplish this great adventure, we will get poon. It's kind of.
That's, I mean,
you just
I guess it depends, because that's kind of peacocking,
down
isn't
the
it?
stream while
Like,
we're talking
That's
about
true.
poon.
I mean,
I
like,
guess
think
most
about, like,
animals they do things
it.
to get poon.
I mean, it's not. I'm not a hermit crab expert. I don't think that they go on battles to impress the lady crabs. But you never know. Maybe the lady crabs in this part of the ocean are just really they're just have high standards.
It's a dangerous part of town, man. They have to.
If you want my daughter's hand, you have to go kill a demon in town.
Only the best for my hermit crab daughter.
Alright, we're all here. Flick's gonna be a little late because of work. But we can get started. Last week, you guys decided that before leaving Pleiades, you wanted to go check out this chapel. You formulated a little bit of a stealth plan to sneak over there and get some information, and along the way, met a trio of hermit crabs that Nordo was speaking to. And devised a plan to use them to scout at first. And over the course of this plan, began investing more and more resources into these hermit crabs. Several high-level spells were cast. There was some crafting that was done to give them special equipment. And by the end of it, you had outfitted these crabs for the mission of their lives. You ended up doing a flyby on the Crescent King and paradropping the crabs, where they did some reconnaissance and learned that the temple was infested with a dozen or so demons. Specifically, a whole bunch of, oh my god, what is the category called? Mesoloth? I forget.
The Yugoloths.
Yugoloths.
That's right, a whole bunch of different kinds of Yugoloths, which are pretty intelligent demons that were performing this very long ritual to slowly, millimeter by millimeter, inch their way into a temple of Aedra that was clearly set up with some protection against fiends. Kind of doing this overlapping series of rituals to push a barrier forward until they could make their way inside. And inside they spotted what appears to be an angel. 5 golden rings covered in eyes, wings outstretched, that was producing this holy power, trying to fight back against all of these fiends. You guys intervened, dropped down. There was a big old fight. There were a lot of incredible AoEs and terrible failed saves. And by the end of it, you guys had won pretty handily, and not only had you won, but thanks to some enlarges from Gale and some contributions from really almost everyone, the crabs had managed to not only tag a couple of these demons, but land the killing blow on one of them, against all sorts of fucking odds. That is pretty much right where we left off. The battle has just ended. There is a wash of holy power that has kind of rushed through the chapel. The bodies of the fiends that are still left in here are quickly burning away. There are still a handful of vines that have been brought up from the backside of the church that were kind of stopped by the barrier that was in place. But those will dissipate shortly. Yeah, that's right where we left off. The angel doesn't speak to any of you immediately. It kind of seems to just be hovering in place.
I would like to speak to it immediately.
Excellent. Please do.
Right. Angel, we have rescued you. It is therefore customary that you provide us with a wish. I would like to use my wish to wish that these 3 crabs be awakened.
Second.
Oh my god.
In the meantime, Nordo has gone outside and is going to start casting Speak with Animals to speak with these crabs and praise their hard work.
Okay.
That'll take 10 minutes, though.
Gail, give me a persuasion check. Or religion if you're feeling zesty. You know, either way works.
I need to use my kingly persuasion.
Understood.
It's good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, man. Gale has a +9 to persuasion.
Yeah, it's really good. There is a soft voice that resonates throughout the halls of this chapel. All of you can hear it. It is out loud. It is audible. And though this thing has many eyes looking in all directions at all times, there is kind of just a sense that it is speaking to all of you. It says, "Very well. Is this what all of you wish? A boon for your companions?"
That's
Among other things.
Very well. It shall be done. You watch as all of the eyes on all of these rings close, and the centers of each ring begin to glow with light. There is an angelic choir, unearthly chorus that begins to just kind of rise up and surround these crabs. And it speaks in common. "Step forward, please, brave warriors." And though it's in common, the crabs do seem to understand it, and one by one, kind of approach this angel.
Is one
Do
still
I-
larger than the others?
Do I have Speak with Animals up yet?
Sure. Well,
Okay.
Gale said he did it immediately.
Okay.
So yeah, not yet. There's still some time on that ritual.
Maybe. What is it that this angel's going to do to him, Gale? I'm not sure I understand.
It's going to teach them the terror of understanding mortality.
If it's all the same, Mr. Angel, sir, and Mr. Gale. Maybe if you just give me a moment, I can ask them if this is what they want.
They're crabs. They don't understand what they want currently. But they'll understand after this happens. But yeah, okay, if you want to talk about it first.
I have seen their minds, and I fucking love this game. This is the best game that anyone's ever made.
You've seen their minds.
I've seen their minds, and I know their wishes. I can do what they please. They will live lives where they are never hungry. They shall live like kings within the Idris domain in the Outer Plains, free to return anytime they wish to this place to see their old friends. They will receive new shells that are resilient bulwarks, a testament to their strength and courage. And they will get mad hermit Clussy.
Clussy? Did you
Don't
say
say that. Don't say that.
Clussy?
As
You're an angel. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
As seems to be the driving motivation for these three.
Do you kiss your god with that mouth?
I imagine this is exactly the wording in the crab's heads.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know, man. I don't know how an angel talks to a crab, and I'm sure that this is not actually the words that are coming out, but it is a one-to-one transliteration.
This is what we choose to hear.
Yeah, this is what they hear, anyway.
The crab.
What do I do with this? The fuck do I do with... Okay.
Crabs are angels now, I guess.
What you do is you give... There's 3 of them, so that's 1 for each of the expert classes.
It's true.
So you just bump them up to level 20 on all of them and let them come and kill a dragon with us.
You have served well with your companions, this union of heroes. And should you choose to return to it, I can facilitate your continued heroic. And the 3 of them kind of look to each other, still not speaking at all. They're, as far as you can tell, still just hermit crabs, but they do seem to have an understanding that they're being spoken to, and they look at each other, they react as if they understand what's being said. And I guess from Nordo, because he's been the one primarily interacting, and then from any of the rest of you, let me get either animal handling or persuasion to see how they feel about continuing their journey with you.
Can I use my primeval awareness to communicate basic ideas and their feelings?
Absolutely, you can do that. So if you want to make this check, you can do so with advantage.
What would it be, Roll? You said.
Animal handling or persuasion.
Oh, I'm bad at both of those, so maybe not. Can I give Norda the help action instead?
Yeah, that's legit.
For what it's worth, I don't know, I can't actually communicate with him with words currently. But the, I don't know, body language that he tries to demonstrate is like, y'all have done what I asked you to do, just you do what you want. If you want to go back home, we can take you home. If not, we'd love to have you.
Okay, so I know
Which is
I
probably
missed
just a
last week.
series of like hand motions.
These are just crabs, right?
They are just hermit crabs, yeah.
Yeah, Moat, for your well, they're currently enlarged. 2 of them are currently enlarged. So that is a little bit weird, but you've seen Gale do it to things before. But they're just 3 hermit crabs. They each are carrying a very well-made rapier with a basket hilt made out of some fine filigree that Vasu worked on. And that's it. That's it. They're just hermit crabs.
Yeah, I've seen the crab with a knife thing. I get it.
Yeah. The 3 of them speak amongst themselves in crab for a moment, and then they begin to chitter back to this angel. They're still a few minutes away from your ritual up, but you do see that after they speak, the angel chitters back at them a little bit, and then one by one they step up and kneel, however that works with 6 legs, in front of this angel. And one by one you watch as they begin to glow, and then disappear in a flash of light.
That scene from Beauty and the Beast, but they disappear instead of turned into a human.
Once all 3 of them are gone, including their swords, which go with them, this angel begins to kind of float back towards all of you, and it lowers itself to you, Gale, and to Nordo beside you. From kind of just this glowing aura in front of it, you watch as a golden shell on a silver chain necklace is lowered. Your friends have chosen respite for a time, but will join you in your times of great need. Use this when the time is right.
There's only a total of two crab shells?
Just 1 crab shell.
Oh, it's just one. So I see it. It's like for us to call upon them with.
It's for you to call upon them on. Yeah.
Excellent.
We need to throw that in something's mouth so they get summoned inside of something.
It's a really good idea.
You've all done more than you realize here today. This was the final bastion, the final foothold that I, the Seraph of Adra, had within this place. And though few still live here, without my protection, it would not take long for the remainder of the city to fall. And for the last memories of the civilization that once worshipped me and my god would crumble, and I along with it. I have no doubt that the fiends will return, but you have set back very literally thousands of years of progress that they had made within this place, setting these evil, fiendish wards and pushing their way within my realm. Much of my strength has been sapped by this process, but I can, at the very least, heal your wounds, and if there's anything else that I can do for you, I would be happy to offer you respite. You'll be safe within this sanctuary.
I need to... Can you ask Adra a question for me?
I can,
Kind of
yes.
sheepishly approach.
Yeah, and there is, it's hard to detect recognition on a pair of 5 sentient golden rings, but you do at least get the sense that when you speak to this thing, it kind of switches its tone. It begins using kind of flowery language that you heard a lot back at the Temple with Renner. It kind of greets you in the formal greeting of Adra. It recognizes you as a paladin of Adra.
Yes, and also to you, balance, all that good stuff.
Right.
I try to connect to it telepathically.
Yep, absolutely.
Does it work?
Yep, instantly. It makes a telepathic communication with you.
Okay, so just to it, if I can, you can read minds? Get the gist of. I mean, you can read crabs' minds. Can you read my mind?
Yes, I can see through you, as necessary.
Okay. Will you just ask her? Boy, how do I say this? He doesn't see another way. Can you help me save him?
Out of character, who is this in reference to? Feel free to whisper.
Gale.
Gotcha. Okay.
You trust the wrong person.
You sure the fuck did.
You were the only one. You were the chosen one.
I sure was chosen.
You're supposed to protect Gale's plan, not destroy it.
Interesting. Okay, let me see here.
I think Flick would have been probably the best choice.
I thought Flick knew too. Am I crazy?
Flick doesn't know.
Flick might know very soon because I can't lie to Flick currently.
Right. Flick's got
Right.
an inkling.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, if that's gonna cure poison, don't heal me. And he was
Right.
like, excuse me?
I'm gonna whisper you something.
Sure. While you were whispering that.
Praise be. You came up with that so fast.
They have stat blocks.
They have 28 charisma.
It's their only good stat.
Dripping in classy.
It's so good.
I like they're immune to so many conditions.
After 1 minute, they're awarded respite.
You only have
Oh, thank
19 hit
God.
points.
Why
If
can't they...
I love that if they would die, Adra intervenes and snatches them from mortal peril.
That's
They can't
cool.
die.
Can,
I've never
Got
been
a
so
better
happy.
mood than most.
can I give them a... Can we make these guys Hexblades?
For their charisma?
Crabbier.
Fuck yeah.
This is the greatest day of my life.
Well,
Nordo clutches this pendant in his hand and puts a hand on Gale's shoulder. She says, that was a hell of a trick out there, little dragon. Good work.
thank you. I was very upset for some reason. I just felt so vindictive.
I think they were too, and I can't imagine why, but I think that's just because they got that fighting spirit.
Well, hermit crabs are notoriously vindictive. That's why you always see them carrying knives for no reason. Huh?
I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, you should probably hold on to this because I definitely don't see myself ever being in a situation where I'll need help.
God damn it. If it's all the same to you, they did get. They found a special place in my heart, despite how short our time together was.
Mine too.
Thanks for doing this for them. I would have never dreamed of it. I would have just taken them back to get all the classy they wanted, but
I don't think that's the actual word.
It hurts.
What?
Matt clutches his head.
I know how to speak hermit crab. I just have to cast spells about it, and I'm pretty sure it's classy.
That's
Ah!
unfortunate. I don't like this hermit crab language.
No, it's kind of a crude language. Most of the words sound a lot like that.
Classy is a.
I think that's where
word.
Skype came from.
Yeah, skite actually is originally a hermit crab word.
Oh, that makes sense.
Classy.
I'm just not realizing it would be crussy,
Well, it's classy.
Yeah.
but it's classy
It's
now.
classy now.
So, you know.
Classy
Classy sky.
makes me think of Chloe. cloacas? Do crabs have cloacas?
Oh, maybe.
No.
No, I don't know. I don't want to think
You know
about
how humans say bullshit? Hermit crabs say classy Scott.
I hate this. I don't care what the angel says. I'm leaving.
Like, I don't want to help him anymore.
All right. Telepathically, if you wish for me to cleanse the copious,
Impure thoughts.
the copious amounts of death within him, I can do so. I can do so even without him noticing. With that said, I understand that what you're actually asking is for me to set his mind straight, to convince him that he's being deceived. That is more difficult. I have the power to change a creature's mind temporarily, but only temporarily, and only against those who are weak of will. Your friend here is convinced and headstrong that this is the correct course of action, and he's also done me a tremendous service, as have you. I would not bring myself to raise my hand against him, and to do this without his knowledge and without his desire. What I can try to do is explain what I know about the dragon that he has made a deal with. He was a threat during our time, and no doubt remains the twisted snake that he was back then. This may help convince him, or it may not. The important thing is that if he does continue down this path, you and your other companions will be at his side to either help him see it through, or help him when it fails.
No, don't change his mind. Don't do anything. I know he's smart. He'll see it on his own eventually. He just needs time. I can take care of it.
Understood. I may be able to help. And it begins to speak out loud, kind of pulling back towards the center. In my time, an Order of Aedra's followers were concerned about man's arrogance. Your kind, mankind, had developed powerful arcane magic. You had began to even meddle with souls and the lines between worlds, the lines between life and death itself. And these members of our religion, the shard that it became, they believed that this threatened to disturb the balance between God and man. They viewed the invasion of the outsiders as a punishment from the gods, and the technologies that you had developed as a monument to man's arrogance, a tower that needed to be toppled. And so they took it upon themselves to topple that tower with the help of a powerful dragon named Ozymandias, who I can see in all of you have encountered, some even spoken to. And though this thing has hundreds of eyes, you do see, Gale, that several of them seem to fix on you. This dragon was a deceiver then, and remains a deceiver to this day. What he and his cultists failed to understand is that balance is not a contest. It has never been. Balance is symmetry, and codependence is sympathy. You've learned this on your journey. I can see it in your eyes, and this time, Nomad, you can feel it kind of drift over towards you. And when man grows strong, the gods that they believe in grow stronger. And when a god goes weak, and the eyes drift to eight, its followers pay the price. The outsiders were not a plague or a punishment. They're simply part of this world, a challenge that perhaps we could have overcome together. As you grew stronger, we would too have grown stronger. But now, the old gods sleep, new ones suckle in their stead as mankind crawls from the ashes. We, Aedra, only persist because some of our believers, perverse though they may be, persist. As most traitors that towed a noble cause tend to be, they were cowards and had no intention of paying the price that they demanded from others. Cult of Weavers still takes refuge throughout the world, some not even knowing their origins. And the eyes do drift back to you here, Moat. Many are harbored by the dragons. Most now dwell within the weave itself, trapped by Ozymandias' lies, his deception. But some do, indeed, sleep within the very halls of the Order where you studied, Moat. These lies were our downfall once. We must be careful to avoid them.
I understand.
Not all who bear our mark are lost. Many still understand the true meaning of balance, and I believe that you do as well. You have formed a group built upon this concept of mutual support, of balance, of growing together. And you will find allies among your kin. But if you return, be careful to seek out this deception, to weigh everything that is taught to you with a grain of salt, to scrutinize the beliefs that are instilled in you.
Balance isn't found, it's created.
To the extent that 5 golden rings can nod, it does.
I'll be careful. They have a lot to answer for.
As for me, this place is still crawling with the Pale Knight and her minions. I will do what I can to purify this place and to make sure that the ward within the arcane sector of the city do not fall, as it has always been. They protect me and I will protect it. Balance. I understand that you have new companions that you have awakened. Some of my old followers, even. I will make contact with them. I will try to restore them to their former strength. I will heal their wounds, and I will protect them if they encounter danger. I can't leave this place, but I trust all of you to act in my stead, to deal with this problem once and for all.
In the event that Moat would face down the rest of his order, could you provide some sort of sigil or proof of your words? Perhaps the right he has.
Think I probably am the proof.
By which I mean, people stare at him and realize, yeah, what he's saying is true, and the divine right is upon him because an angel actually said it.
This is a gift that many of my followers already have. Speak the truth, call upon Adra to verify it, and she will.
Was Moat able to do this the entire time?
He's got
I
Zone of
think
Truth.
she's talking about a Zone of Truth spell.
Oh, jeez. The Zone of Truth is fallible. Come on, Adra. A single second tier spell could absolutely. Can you give yourself an aura of truth with Nistles?
As far as I know, to jump out of character for a moment, the cheapest and easiest way to beat a Zone of Truth is glibness. I don't think Nistles would do it.
Yeah.
Glibness is 7th level, 8th level.
8th, I think. Could be 7th. It's okay. If Nistles was that powerful, the demons out here would have just used it to enter.
Right. But literally.
Yeah.
One of them could cast a 1st level spell on itself, identify as a celestial, and walk right in.
Isn't
No
Nistles the
problem.
2nd level?
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, it's
like it's
basically free.
minor ass magic that can break any other magic. I hate it. I hate it so much. Sorry, carry on.
They learned a ritual that they've been casting for thousands of years, but no one learned Nistles.
What a great question.
I think this is a different kind of barrier. I wish to
Yeah, I was
question
gonna say,
the
it's a-
specifics of this barrier that you put up that they were fighting against. You don't have to tell me the nitty gritty, but Nomad just kind of wants to know how this thing sort of works, so we can make something similar.
Yeah.
Later.
The basics. You don't even need a check involved. It's explaining it to you, and you're very smart. The basic understanding is that it is in effect very, very similar to Forbiddens, but because angels can see through lies, like they just see straight through Nistles. They don't give two shits about it.
I thought angels could hear when they saw when there was. I guess they have true.
They also have
sight?
true sight.
But does true sight see through Nistles?
They have true sight and true hearing.
This angel at least seems to.
Homebrews.
Insight check.
It would also be potent and noteworthy to know that Aedra is like literally the god of how magic works.
Yeah.
It
Could
would
you
be
ask
reasonable-
Aedra why Nistles exists?
Also, can I insight this angel just to make sure that it's not, I don't know, skirting around certain details to
You can
hide
sure.
information from us?
You can absolutely try. Give me an insight check.
If anyone can succeed
25
this
is the
throw,
minimum.
25? Yeah, I mean, sure. You feel like you aren't able to pick up on anything that would indicate that this thing is lying to you.
But does it seem like it's like trying to avoid things and hide information rather than just straight lying?
It seems like it has been pretty forthcoming with you. It seems like it's even kind of volunteered a lot of information. The only thing that perhaps catches you as a little bit odd is that before it gave that big old explanation of who it is and what it knew, Moat did have a private telepathic conversation with it, and you suspect that might have been the trigger for why it revealed so much information all of a sudden. But that doesn't really reflect on it so much as, like, clearly Moat had something secret that he wanted to talk about.
Could I ask it something private?
Sure, absolutely.
And he just says something like, I have a multitude of questions.
I can see many of them within you.
Excellent. Please read my mind. And he just bombards the angel with tons and tons of technical, magical,
Sure.
whatever questions that he needs
Yeah.
in order to become God.
The-
They may not all be like, it's not like, how do I become God? But these are all questions that he needs answered in order to
Right.
become it.
And what you find, and obviously what happens is much faster than the conversation that the two of us are having out of character.
Yeah. It's just a rapid back and forth. It's like sending gigabytes and terabytes of text.
Yeah. This thing is almost immediately able to perceive not only the questions that you have, but what you're ultimately digging at, what your end goal is. And it begins to kind of speak back to you. Just answers to your individual questions along the way. And the essence that you get is that the answer is right in front of you. It's everything that has been speaking the entire time. It is balance. It is everything that you've learned on your journey by observing the Kuatoa, by observing Ace and Coralin, by observing the sympathetic magic. Godhood is a state of union and of mutual support by a tremendous amount of supporters and followers. If you wish to become a god, what you need is the sympathetic magic granted to you by having millions or billions of fervently invested creatures worshipping you.
Excellent. It's currently what I'm doing so far. So I did not learn anything new.
Yep.
So
And
instead,
it almost can sense your disappointment, and then I do apologize that the answer is not
no
more...
disappointment. Just I am pleased to know that I already answered the question many times.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent.
But also because this makes sense that I know. But another question is there something I can do to change what a god did already?
As you, a powerful arcanist and one of the brightest minds within this room, surely understand, time magic is the greatest magic of all.
Of course.
It is.
But I don't think I can go back in time and slap Coralin across the face for what he did to his children.
It would be very difficult. Time is an older magic even than we, the gods. You may be able to clean up the mess, but it will be difficult for you to change what has been.
Less about going back in time to change what has been, but to make changes the present or what will become. Is there a way to give them what they've lost?
Yes, absolutely, certainly. You would need to attain godhood yourself somehow, and then you would
the
need
checklist.
to and then you would need to form strong sympathetic bonds with the entirety of all three species. But
Working on it as well.
in theory, by distributing your power among them, you could fill the role that Corlin should have filled in his time. Yes. You could grant them a wholeness that they have never known.
Or they once knew.
You seem to be at peace with this already, and I admire that. It is unusual and intriguing. Mortals are such interesting things. You seem to be at peace with the idea of losing your own identity to serve a greater good.
I've never had one.
This makes sense.
Until recently.
A tremendous number of people that seek godhood for themselves do so out of a desire to exert their own will, their own identity onto others. This is a stumbling block for many of them, but I truly believe you will not encounter this roadblock.
I wish only to uplift those who must be uplifted. I wish to be the god of fragile creatures.
There is another force older than the gods itself. Fate, or luck, or chance, happenstance. And by happenstance, you have been born at the perfect time. This is a world of newborn gods. And perhaps it is not too late for one more to join the fray.
You're taking this much less aggressively than I anticipated.
It is, as I said, balance is not a competition. We go stronger as we're uplifted by each other.
You like my tenets.
I
hand over a pamphlet.
It instantly rifles through all of them, and it's mine. God, I'm trying to remember if there's any in there that would, like, stand out to it. Your followers
don't
will,
think
at
so.
least.
It doesn't have to be religious. It can just be a way of life.
The distinction, at some point, is irrelevant. It does kind of pull back and seems to address all of you. I am afraid that I cannot send you anywhere else that is outside of the capabilities that I've been given within this place. But if you need healing, return to me at any time. Otherwise, I wish you well in your journey.
Could you return my mana? Can you heal that?
Would that I could. Actually, hang on. This is an Angel of Adra. Maybe it
Okay,
can.
lied to me.
Fuck, man. Give me a
You
look.
turned crabs into angels. Don't tell me you can't restore 7 days worth of mana. Piece of shit, angel.
Hey,
Come
man,
on.
It already earned its channeled what is it called? Divine Intervention. They only get one of that. You know what?
That's fair.
Is this what day is it? What day is it?
It's about
Today,
to be Sunday, I think.
it's gonna be Sunday tomorrow.
Sure. You know what? Give me a D100. You're looking for low here. You're looking for lower than 18.
You want me to do?
Yeah, you're doing it.
You're saying a cleric doesn't have divine intervention immediately? Sure. Damn. Damn. 55. It's my favorite number, though.
It's a good number. Yeah, I know you like 5. I have beseeched Adra. Oh my god, look at this. Let's get some more 11s up in here.
Let's see if it's it's 91. These would be good for finding items.
Yeah, that'd be great if they were
Great for
like
finding
loot rolls. I'm afraid I have already granted the only boon I'm capable of giving in this time to your hermit crabs, who are now engaged in carnal hermit crab sins within the realm of Adra. And as such, I cannot bestow any additional boons to you.
Worth
I have
it.
no regrets.
Me neither.
Is this angel trying to tell me that it used divine intervention to turn crabs into angels?
It might be.
But it's more telling him that we used its divine intervention to turn crabs into angels. It told us that we could ask for anything we wanted. And we said, just turn these crabs into angels for us, please.
Gale
And I
was
have
like,
no
give them,
regrets.
fucking awaken them. This is way better. It's
Yeah,
excellent.
I just wanted them to be awakened. I didn't want them to be fucking angels.
That's what I wanted for them.
This is excellent. No, we can call it them.
I love it so much.
Now there's gonna be
Look
like this, this family tree of just like angel crabs as they get all that clissy.
Oh yeah,
That's so
you
gross.
you just started an entire generation of divine soul sorcerer crabs.
So if you don't think I'm playing a Divine Soul Sorcerer crab in C3, you are sorely
Oh my
mistaken.
god. Someone make that hermit crab race. Awaken the hermit crab race.
I think you could basically just use turtle stats.
I feel like it. I mean, like, you'd have to be tiny. That's 3 queen as well.
Or the hybrid, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Simic hybrid. That'd be
Yeah.
good.
Simic.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think
They
you
have
can literally get claws.
Yeah, they can.
Like
The,
pincers
pic-
and
the picture has
carapace.
actual claws.
I still think turtle would be the best like fill-in race for like an anthro hermit crab. It's got the shell. They have like
Yeah.
there's like claws that you can do slashing damage with unarmed strikes already. You can
swim,
hold
I
your
think,
breath, but
yeah.
you don't have to be in water. There's no swim speed. That's a problem,
Oh.
I guess.
But what about a Lokatha?
Lokatha too, though. Yeah. The shell though is the key to me. A hermit
Yeah.
crab. The shell's really the thing.
Hmm.
It's what defines a hermit crab. Anyway,
Ooh, is that a horseshoe
Oh my
crab
God,
angel?
That's pretty cool.
okay. I am.
Shall we rest here and next Sunday, I guess, leave tomorrow? Where are we headed?
Yes, the
I
next
guess
question is where
yeah.
we're going next. I sure would like to set things right with the slavers, if you know what I mean. But I know everyone else has things they want to do as well.
We got to start somewhere. Seems as good as anything.
Moat, did I hear? I didn't totally understand all that, but it kind of sounded like they're saying there's some bad apples in the order.
I guess it sounds like that.
So that'd not be a bad place to start either. I've been meaning to give Renner a stern talking to. Might be a little more stern than we planned, but
We might be able to just set him right.
Do you think the people of the Order would have a way to get to Mechanus?
Would I have any inkling if they would know how to do that?
I feel like Mechanus is like vaguely in the sort of realm of balance, like as one
Order,
factor
right?
of balance.
Give me I guess. Oh boy, I don't even know. This would be an intelligence check of some sort. You could tell me on history or maybe even religion.
he's got a mercenary background
Oh yeah, you
thing.
have the mercenary background thing. I'll give you advantage for that, for like knowing what your own mercenary company is capable of. If we're calling them mercenaries, they're kind of mercenaries.
Can I take a second, but mostly on Mechanus?
God bless Moat.
Mechanus.
I think it's a kind of herb.
Oh, it's the plane of law and order. There's a lot of like robots and mechanical contraptions.
Oh,
Kind
thank God, because I was thinking something like a Clissy.
God damn it.
We must depart from
Yeah.
this.
Never mind. I need some time alone with the rug.
What are you doing with the rug?
I just want to swaddle myself in it.
Would you like to be swaddled in someone's arms?
No,
Just the rug?
maybe Vasu's or Naruto's. But
Give real good hug. And so does Shu.
That's
Come here,
right.
Shu.
I'll be right
Give
back,
Gale a hug.
Ross. I'm going to go make you a pair of lips.
God damn.
Thanks.
He's gonna go outside and grab some blubber.
You just grab some blubber.
Or whatever material is floating around that has a lip-like consistency.
Sure, give me a survival check. Are you going out into the deep ocean to do this?
I'm gonna get immediately crushed by the. I don't know. Just like kind of outside in the vicinity. It wasn't like it was raining fish and stuff.
Give me a survival check, see what you can find.
Sure. I don't think I'm good at that. Let's see. I'm fucking trained in survival. Let's do it. Yeah. Do I find out here?
You find some plants in this little grotto, and some of them are the right color. They look like, I don't know, they look like they could be, I don't know. It's not a great match. You find some weird bean pods
I'll
that are
find
the right
some
color.
seaweed. Yeah, bee pods. Do I find seaweed? And there's some with jelly-like consistency.
In here you don't, because everything is like terrestrial gardens and stuff.
Oh, there's terrestrial gardens.
Yeah, if you wanna go out into the ocean, you certainly can.
Have these demons fully disappeared?
Yes. By this point, all of the demonic bodies that were within the church have disappeared.
All right.
You
There
do
are no
see
lips
that,
here.
No, they don't. No, they don't leave any lips behind. You do notice that they do leave some things behind, which is a little unusual for demons. Looking them over quickly with Vasu's special eyes, you don't see anything magical. It all appears to be mundane, but they are magical implements. There's a bunch of just staves, a couple of crystal orbs that were probably used as focusing devices. There are a couple of pearls. In fact, I'll say that there are
Ritual materials, I guess.
there are 4 pearls that are each worth 100 gold.
Delightful.
That were probably used for identify spells. And a handful of spellbooks, which
Do they all have wizard spells?
they do. They contain some wizard spells, and I'll get a list of those for you. I don't know if any of them are. Well, they might be. They might be things you don't have already.
I hope so.
But yeah, there were definitely a whole bunch of Arcana Loss here, and they absolutely have spellbooks for you. So I'll grab a list.
I'm excited. Wizard spellbook.
Nomad returns with no lips, and a handful of spellbooks and some pearls.
I got some pearls. I'll find you some lips later. Once I find the proper material.
As far as where we go next, if we do go after the slavers, not to sell this plan too hard, we know that they're in cahoots with the dragon somehow. They was making some whatever mind-altering stuff was being used on the kobolds,
Oh, yeah.
so we could get to the bottom of how that's all tangled up together.
That sounds like a plan.
Of course, this all depends on if our machine that we made to find the Wandering Sun works. We ain't tried it yet, I don't think. Back on Tornado. But I guess for now, rest here for the night and then back to Tornado.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Mind if I go back to what the Elbrock mined and inform everyone about the angel and that the angel will protect them if they ever are in danger?
Yeah, we should let them know that we're leaving too. Don't want to just leave without
Yeah.
telling them. But you ought not go alone for a nomad. Maybe some of us will go with you.
Love for someone to come with me.
Oh, I'll go with you.
Excellent.
Oh, jeez, that's a lot of spells.
See,
Holy
oh my
moly.
God. I can't learn the cantrip.
Mind blank.
I guess the cantrips wouldn't be in there. The 3 of you kind of return to the Constellarium and inform the people there of what has happened. Kind of tell them that the place has been cleansed, and they mention that they might even try to make their way over there for some healing at some point, or at least get in touch with this angel, even if a couple of them have to sneak over and work out the logistics of that at some point.
Yeah.
they are relieved to hear that the threat to the wards that were protecting the arcane quarter have been maintained, and because of that, the city should be safe from having the lights tampered with, having the bubble keeping the ocean away from being tampered with, and things like that.
Hmm. The only big threat here currently, I think, is the rift, where the fiends are coming out of,
Absolutely.
and the big ass Titan.
Right. They will continue to stay on guard against both, although they seem to understand that. I can't remember if you guys explicitly talked about this or not, but the Deep Mother is doing her best to hold that off, at least long enough for you guys to figure out a solution from the other side. They'll do what they need to. Mostly, they will try to rest and practice their magic and wake back up because it's been a long time. They have to go from shrine to shrine, collecting all of their items again,
Yeah.
with the help of nothing but a Sheikah slate.
Okay, so this is totally not something that Nordo would do in character, but I'm going to do it because I'm Zeke.
I can't wait.
Do I happen upon a holy symbol of Sethrak anywhere as we're walking around to bring to Toklo? Since he was bitching about not having a holy symbol.
I thought we made him one.
Did we? If he's been made one, we
Yeah.
don't need to worry about it. That might have happened when we were like making
Yeah.
preparations for the
It's
thing.
part of the preparations.
Yeah.
He
Okay,
made like
disregard.
a pair of like snakes eating each other's tails.
We're good then.
Yep. You guys were able to kind of set up a bunch of it. A bunch of them actually do have like apartments throughout town, and some of them were destroyed by the demons. Some of them, most of anything that was like perishable at all has rotted away because it's been hundreds or even thousands of years.
Can I give them some of the pearls?
Yeah, absolutely. They would love to hold on to one or two of those for identification.
I feel like Jerry would like it very much.
Yeah, thank you. This will be very helpful.
They came from demons.
Please send an invoice to me and I'll get it paid as soon as I have a bank account again.
No problem. Do you take credits, by the way? I have this weird credit money inside me.
It occurs to me that with the fall of our capitalist system, the credits are probably worthless, but unfortunately I did not add a clause for that in my contract, so I am required by law to accept them, yes.
I like the credit system. It's more efficient than carrying around tons and tons of gold. I think we could reinstate it again sometime.
Thank you, I helped design it. It's, never mind. That's a dumb joke.
Is it a dumb joke Jerry would make?
No, I was gonna start going down some terrible blockchain joke, but I wouldn't despoil Jerry's good name like that.
I don't know what a blockchain is, to be fair. But yeah,
You guys
money.
are able to rest up overnight, either in the Kampflärm or here in the temple. And at long last, it's a long rest.
What place will get me the most mana?
The same. Nordo, what's up?
I'll rest at the temple here with the angel, and at some point, like during the night, if Nordo can find a moment where everybody else is either sleeping or at least not around to talk to this angel by himself.
Absolutely.
He'll kind of just approach and sort of self-consciously look down at the Adra tattoo that he has on his like forearm, and he doesn't really know what to do about angels, so he probably like rings his concierge bell once and then takes a knee. Mr. Angel, if it's not too much trouble, you said you could do us some sort of favor as a reward, and you already done a lot for us, but if I could just ask you one more question.
Yes, I will do what I can. Please, do not be afraid. Speak.
Is it possible for a bad person to do enough good things to become a good person?
This is a difficult question. And the reason that it's difficult is because bad and good are words that your kind invented. It is possible for someone who has violated the principles of Aedra and her beliefs and her tenets to reconcile and to do enough things to be welcomed within to the fold. And the opposite is also true. And when viewed as a whole, an entire person's life is judged all at once. But some weight is placed on the latter decisions. Okay, this angel knows that you don't know big words. How would it approach this?
Telepathy.
Yeah,
Probably just.
it probably
yeah.
helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, say Nomad speaks to Nordo in big words too, but he like gets meaning instead of
Gets the
word.
gist of it.
But
Yeah.
I understand that what you're not asking for is an explanation of how good and evil work. What you're asking for is whether you will feel peace again with the things that you've done. And the answer to that is no, you will not. That cannot be undone. The things that you've done will resonate throughout time and throughout history.
That's just the same question, though.
It may be. That is very clever.
Sorry, I cut out there for a second. I think I talked over you on this by mistake.
No, go ahead.
Just, I've got your symbol here, and he kind of points at the tattoo, and I don't know nothing about gods or provinces or what the gods want from us or being in their good graces or none of that. I've hurt a lot of people what didn't do nothing to deserve it. I got a lot of innocent people killed by making selfish choices, and I just want to know if I can balance the scales. If I help enough people, if it cancels that out. Is that how good and evil works?
For Aedra, no, it is not. Perhaps some other gods view it as a contest, points that you earn in one column or the other. Aedra sees you as a whole. It is important that you come to accept the things that you've done, that you've regretted, and it seems that you're already well on that path. But what's more important is that you use that to drive yourself to do better things. You cannot erase the ink that you have placed. It is on you permanently, indelibly, and it cannot be removed. But you still have plenty of flesh left to engrave. Plenty of story left to tell, plenty of actions left to take. Do the best that you can with those actions. View yourself as a whole.
I'll try. Thanks, Mr. Angel, sir. Miss Angel, I don't know which one.
It's, largely irrelevant for our kinds, but either is appropriate.
He sort of just kind of awkwardly stands up and rings the concierge bell again, and then walks
It
Walks
has
back.
5 holes.
walks back out the front door and lights his tobacco pipe and smokes for a little bit before he goes back to bed.
Shit.
Oh, no.
Thank God.
What is this?
Okay, no, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, thank Christ.
Missed attack? Did you roll for holes? I can't stop looking at this pendant.
It's so good.
Anything else that happens overnight, or is everybody just resting up?
I think I'm just resting up. What time? How much time did we have before we had to go rest? I guess. Caught everyone up.
Yeah, you did this pretty early in the day, so you had like most of the afternoon and evening still if you wanted to get things done.
Yeah, I guess just craft a few things.
Sure, you would have
And,
time to do some crafting.
Yes.
I want to work on my forklift,
Excellent. What are you doing to your forklift?
making it very quiet, and I wanna overclock it to the best as I can.
All right. So the two things that you just described are mutually opposed. But you are a skilled artificer, and you might be able to make some things happen. Give me a Tinker's Tools check.
Do you want help?
I would love help more than you know.
Have advantage in the +6 to.
The lowest it can be is a 24, so 30.
Okay. The two of you take some time to look this thing over, and you are relieved to find this thing is not necessarily loud and clunky because it has to be. It's not like this thing has a race car engine in it that is making tons of noise. It's loud and clunky because it was designed to be cost effective for mass production for corporate use.
Mm-hmm. And also safe.
With some time and with some resources, you can absolutely make this thing both faster and quieter. It's not going to be something that you can do overnight, and you will definitely need to get access to some resources. I don't know how much you have on you, but it would cost a couple hundred gold worth of resources at least, maybe more. And you could absolutely speed that process up if you wanted to get some magic crystals involved and turn this thing into a magic item.
Oh, this isn't a magic item currently?
Oh, it definitely is. Absolutely is.
Yeah.
It flies. With a 30, I will draft up a game plan for you, and let you know like the exact cost and time that it'll take. And let me make a note to myself to remember to do that. You're not able to get it done tonight, but you at least know what you need to do when you get to the surface or somewhere you have resources.
I write up like schematics and ideas for Ace to look over to see what he wants.
Let's put some rims on this thing.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Nice monster truck. One monster truck wheel.
It doesn't have any wheels, but you're gonna, yeah, exactly. You put a wheel on it so that you can put rims on that wheel.
If we just put a spinning thing underneath it, like a propeller.
Ooh, there we go.
Turn the forklift into a Beyblade.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
In case because things that have attacked you before came from below.
It's true.
Oh, I'm also going to add a seatbelt. Or like a harness that I can attach myself to, so if it gets
safety.
turned upside down, I can't like fall to my death.
Here, you should put some flame decals on it too. It'll make it go faster.
I thought about that. I actually did. It's in the schematic. See, look, it's like hot rod flames.
Yeah, I'd say you were wrong, but it's true. Flame decals make things go faster if you use magic paint,
Yeah. such
as the tattoos.
Can you use some magic paint to give me like a temporary tattoo of the Hot Wheels logo?
I think we would be sued by the gods.
The only painter that was capable of that magic was Jesus Christ, and we can't mimic that.
We couldn't hope to ever mimic that. The greatest painter of all time.
God, every time that joke comes back up, I've forgotten about it, and it catches me off guard all over again. I love it.
The only reason we're allowed to use it canonically.
Your people still speak of Jesus Christ the painter.
Yes.
Intriguing.
Do we?
Yes. Anytime flame decals come up or somebody says Jesus Christ.
It is fascinating which parts of our culture have survived.
I'd say survived thousands of years. I'm pretty sure I heard some of our We call them resurrected? Reinstated friends?
Rehydrated.
Rehydrated. Our rehydrated friends.
Defrosted. Reconstituted.
Reconstituted is an okay word for this, I guess.
Sure.
Our reconstituted friends have used the words Jesus Christ before.
Alright. Schematics are in the works. You've got a game plan to improve your forklift. I use the word forklift real sparingly. It's a Bowser Jr. cart. The day is yours. You have a fresh long rest. What's the plan? Where are you guys heading?
Nordo will make a wholesome breakfast and bring it to everybody in the morning.
Nomad's like, he almost eats something. He forgot.
Almost.
He forgot
can't.
for a moment. Just a moment. Oh, this is how I get the squirts like everyone else.
I say wholesome breakfast. Nordo's probably kind of running low on resources down here for
We
cooking
have
wholesome
fish.
breakfasts. That's true. We have a ton of fish.
Lots of. Yeah, well, they're kind of mutant fish. I don't know if they're good.
I mean,
Sort
like
of-
all these fish are kind. I mean, is it unhealthy to eat aberrations?
They're not all aberrations. No, I'm going to go back over to where I found those hermit crabs and catch like 40 other hermit crabs and just cook them.
What if those are their family?
Are there bigger crabs to eat that are in hermit variety?
Nordo's just making more angel crabs. We're fine.
What a tremendous image that is within 8 hours of this entire ordeal to just like go grab like 12 crabs, boil them, and eat them.
Can you imagine these hero crabs that we've just made angels, essentially, chilling up there, swimming in Clussy, and then all of a sudden all of their family starts arriving?
We're just sending them to them.
Yeah,
They
that's
arrive
nice.
soft-boiled.
Yeah, no one's ever really called Nordo out on the fact that he talks all the time like animals are just the same as people and doesn't understand how you guys don't grasp that, but then also still eats animals.
Nomad has no questions about it. Like, he understands fully the ramifications.
Yeah, it makes total sense to Nomad.
Yeah, it's just like, you feel really bad about it, but you gotta eat.
I don't know if Nordo even feels bad about it. Survival of the fittest. Dog eat dog world out there.
Yeah, man.
They should have been heroic and killed some demons, and then
Should
we would
have.
respected them.
Then they become angels and not get eaten.
I hope Nordo dies by being eaten by those angel crabs.
Me too. Everything comes full circle. The crabs are the ones that judge Nordo in the end when he goes to the afterlife and find him
The
wanting.
3 crabs.
The 3
Turtle
crusted tears.
Gonna judge your heart
Turn him into
against a
turtle
feather
soup.
or against a hermit crab shell. Alright. What's the plan? Before we end this session tonight, I must know where you guys are going so I can actually prep something.
I think we're just going to teleport directly to the...
Yes, I start going back to the
King.
tornado.
Okay. Excellent.
An addendum as well.
Yes.
I believe one of the plans was to bring Mulek along so he can start finding trees
Right, so
outside.
you can find a tree up there.
Oh,
and come
right.
back.
Well, we don't have a tree anymore because we burnt it down.
Well, we can find more. That's what I mean. Like, we take Mulek with us and we drop him off somewhere where there are trees. So we can start going
Yeah, so
around.
like a tree on the surface somewhere.
Yeah. And Mulek seemed to like this idea, it seems.
Do you
No.
think that if the angel
You-
would have like made a tree sentient and then we would have made it like animated so it could move around, that you'd have like a portable tree?
Ho, 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 get in my belly. Where are you going today?
Not anymore. It was a good idea till that.
I don't see any problems with this plan. It seems like it would work.
We need to find an awakened tree then.
I'm pretty sure the transport via plants or whatever does specify that they can't be an awakened tree.
Oh, you're right. It
Oh.
specifically says inanimate.
How dare they!
I was-
So
I was
stupid.
pulling it up to see.
Could you not? I mean, I guess the tree could be set so that it just inanimates itself right before then.
What if it sleeps?
Thank good God.
Missiles
you
make
could
it
just...
inanimate.
Oh, yeah, this can just stay inanimate.
I don't think that's
I mean-
within the realm
Just-
of Nistles.
I mean, by that, Stretch, you might as well just use Nistles to make yourself an inanimate tree.
Right.
True.
And just walk through yourself.
Right. You
I don't-
can-
Why not?
Aren't we all
This would
just
turn
made
you
out of
inside
trees in
out.
the end? Some of us are turtle soup in the end. Turtle soup in the end for me.
Calamari for me.
All right. You guys are able to grab Mulek, who is always happy to jump on the opportunity to leave his party behind, and teleport
This
up
seems
to
to
the
be a
surface.
recurring thing.
It's a theme.
Druids.
Druids. Boy, not just druids. But they're very good at it. In fact, I feel like it's more of a rogue thing than anything else.
It's usually a rogue thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You warp back up to the tornado, and you are immediately surrounded by the realization that some of the strange phenomena that was happening down there after the opening of the Albert Mine is happening up here. When you arrive back in the tornado, it is as you left it. Everything is safe. Everything is fine. You do still see that some of your comrades are within the ship, staying close to the mirror. But just like as you're walking around, there are tiny little fractures in the sky around you. Almost like those weird little floaters that you get in your eye sometime, except they're real. And when you move around, you can move around these tiny little cracks in the sky. And then when you peer through them, you can swear that you see little fragments of other worlds, other places, sometimes even other people looking back through the fragments at you. There's just this constant grainy static of tiny little blips into other universes every 20 or 30
Twitch.
feet. Every now and then, off in the distance, you'll see that one will open up for a little bit. Sometimes a bluster of snow pours through, or a bit of rain begins to come out, or sand begins to pour through. And then just as quickly as it opened, it closed. But it becomes very clear to you that whatever is happening is a massive global phenomenon, and there is no way that this has gone unnoticed throughout the world.
Has Uno killed all of our families?
When you get back and check on all of your family, you do see that everyone is still there, including Uno. Uno is fascinated by all of this, and you know what, actually, before I answer that question, Ace, what's up? What are you up to?
Oh, I was just gonna say that as these portals are peering up, I'm gonna peer through them and see if I can see my boy.
Excellent. Give me a luck check.
Great luck.
Check. You, with your keen and sharp eyes, always on the lookout, can swear that out of the corner of your eye at one point, in one of these little blips, you lock eyes with Lush, and he begins to fly over towards the portal as fast as he can. But no more than a split second, a blink of an eye after you guys notice each other, the portal blips back closed, and everything's back to normal, and he's not there.
Tisk tisk tisk.
You'll get him.
You do find that when you are checking in on everyone, seeing how everybody is, several of the people there are actively kind of studying these things, or fascinated, or looking through the cracks, or trying to see what's on the other side. Uno is not among them. You actually have to kind of go down into the little lair that she has made for herself, inside of the mirror, inside of her weird, spooky crypt, at the lowest level, where whoever goes looking, I don't know if it's Ace or somebody else, you find Uno kind of huddled up, knees against her chest, spellbook nearby, spellcasting focus in her hand, terrified.
And sorry, just to clarify, are these weird rifts tearing inside like the extraplanar space
Yeah,
of the mirror
yep.
also? Okay.
Even inside of the mirror. Yep.
Ooh, that's bad news.
Yeah, don't touch.
I'll go find. I'll go up to Uno.
She seems relieved to see you, but she is still, every time one of these things kind of pops open, even just a tiny one, she kind of points her wand towards it. She looks like she has not slept in probably all night.
Are you worried that something might come through one of these?
Yeah, she shakes her head vigorously.
Are her bodyguard friends around?
Oh yeah, they are around and they are on full alert. There are like 4 skeletons posted at the top of the crypt with spears. She's got 5 or 6 stationed throughout the room. Every time one of these opens up, they kind of like bat at it, but you know they're intangible until they actually open up into full portals, which is kind of rare.
You seem pretty freaked out. Is there anything I can do to help?
She kind of points to the symbol on the cultist robes that she has hanging next to her bed, and then she draws a finger across her throat, like a slit throat motion.
Okay, yeah. I mean, murdering the cult is definitely on our list.
Yeah, she gives a thumbs up.
Are you worried that they're coming after you?
She nods.
Perhaps we can speak with Nomad. Maybe he can think of a way to maybe help ward this area.
She gives an appreciative look, but it's kind of like a, you can try. Like, she kind of tilts her head to the side.
I think our sense of urgency just got bigger because this place ain't safe anymore, clearly, for all the people we've put up on here to keep them safe.
You can go jump over to Nomad.
Okay, yeah, Nomad, what's up?
Oh, Nomad just goes over to Newmad and asks for a report.
Yeah, Nomad is able to kind of report the research that he's been doing, feeds you some of the intel that he's got, feeds you a status report on everybody. Everything has gone smoothly.
It's all probably written down because he can't remember anything new.
Yeah, most likely. He does report that sometime it would have been 2 days ago that these rifts appeared. There was a lot of hypothesizing about what they were. He's fairly certain that they are places like links to other worlds. They look very similar to the rift that was opened in Unmirage. He suspects that it's probably something that has to do with the Crosswinds is the best that he can conjecture. But he's able to confirm that they have been persistent since then, and they seem to be everywhere. Up in the sky, down in the water, it's all over. The whole world is experiencing this. Or at least this whole region.
That makes sense. And nothing weird has come up.
Nope, nobody new has showed up. Everything has been pretty standard. He's been doing a little bit of research on the Kuatoa still, following up on that thread.
Very good. How are they doing? How are their studies?
Um,
How's my boy?
They have been... A schism has formed between the two of them. Some of them believe that they should worship the rifts, and some of them believe that they should stick to their scholarly studies. He has done everything that he can to encourage them to continue their studies. But there are whispers of dissidence. At the very least, they believe that they should be studying these rifts. As a compromise.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm just gonna catch up with everyone. Catch up with the cat bat and everything else. Make sure they're doing fine.
Yeah.
Cherry.
You spend some time just kind of getting a sit rep, and everything appears to be pretty normal. There were no big surprises while you were gone, thankfully.
How much of the workbooks have they gone through?
You bought a lot. They still have plenty to go through.
I made a lot too.
Yeah. No, they're making good progress, but you got them a whole curriculum of stuff to go through, so they got plenty left.
Are they smarter now? Are they smart enough to have class levels?
No.
I think 3 of them had.
They have
already.
Yeah, like they've got a couple of them had like cantrips and stuff like that, and they've been doing some study. But as you've learned, the best experience is experience.
Killing things.
A wizard sometimes studies for 60 or 70 years to get their first level of wizard.
Yeah, or they kind of touch an artifact and it just kind of comes flowing through.
Yeah, Or sometimes a ranger touches a bone once and gets class levels.
You're such a dick.
What?
What?
It's just... never mind, it's just silly.
What the fuck was that reference to again?
The fucking... The Drake Warden Ranger. Like, one of their origins is like, they touched a dragon bone once.
And became a Drake Lord.
I mean, Daru licked a bone and got a 3rd level spell, so there's a basis for that.
Yeah, no, it totally is. Ace, what's up?
If necromancy is a whole ass school of magic, you should be able to get cool powers by touching fossils.
Oh, I believe in it. I believe in it for sure. No, I'm into it. I think that, like, sorcerer-style magic, where you inherit it through some sort of an accident or encounter, is the coolest kind of magic.
I dug up some bones in my backyard and I licked one and now I got powers.
But yeah, what's up?
Yes. So I'm gonna probably spend some time with Uno, calm her down. I'm actually gonna ask her if she recognizes this, and I'm going to, since I watched it, I'm gonna perfectly mimic the curse transfer that we did, or that we watched happen a long time ago, and see if she recognizes what it is, and see if it sparks any interest in her.
The curse transfer, like the one that Nomad used on Flick's mom?
The one that I think it was someone else used it on Nomad. They used like the symbol of like, I think it was Lolth or something. I forget. It was some spider thing, I believe. But yeah, the curse transfer for that. I've written down that I watched it and observed it. Maybe it wasn't that. It was something. Maybe it wasn't.
I'm trying.
Spider. Maybe it was Coralin. I forget what they used, but I remember watching the curse transfer spell that was actually performed.
Gotcha. The closest thing I can think of is the one that Nomad invented, which took on Flick's mom's curse onto himself.
I'm still cursed.
Yeah, still cursed by that, by the way.
Still cursed with
I
it.
thought someone else. I thought there was a third party who did it.
Oh yeah, another devil. who I forced to take half of the curse.
Yeah, but I thought a third party cast it, not.
No,
Nomad.
I think it was Nomad that did it.
It was me. Yeah. It was just it was a big deal. I needed like people around to like, because devils were definitely gonna come in and be like, "Hey, how fucking dare you?" The Pale Knight says, "Fuck you."
Maybe I'm thinking of a different curse name. I definitely have watched the curse transfer spell, and if Nomad had been doing it, there would be no reason for me to watch it. I remember it was some other person we had ran into.
Yeah, so I can't think of any other even close situation. I know for sure Nomad did that one. I was still lore keeper at the time.
The only thing I can think is that, like, maybe you watched it in case you ever needed to do it later or something.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe.
Either way, when you kind of demonstrate this process and explain,
But I don't explain what it is. I just kind of ask her to watch and kind of like play a game for her to figure out what it is.
Okay.
And kind of go from there and see if she can pick it up and.
I gotcha. Yeah, as just kind of a distraction. Give me any sort of charisma check.
Can I give you my Kinku performance with advantage?
Yeah.
Because it's our thing.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna need it to -2.
It is an uphill battle for sure. There are moments when you can tell that she understands what you're trying to do, that you're trying to calm her down, that you're trying to be there for her, that you're trying to form a bond. And she plays along. And it's very clear that she's playing along, and every now and then she will look over your shoulder at a rift that's just formed, and she never lets go of that arcane focus. She never lets go of her spellbook. Eventually, she calmed down to the point where she starts, like, ordering her skeletons to mimic it with you. And there's one point even where she sets the book down for just a second to, like, do one step of it that's particularly flashy, just to show that she's paying attention and she's part of this. But it's brief, and then she hurries back over to the book and she grabs it. By the end of it, she seems relieved that you guys are back, for sure. She, if you allow her, kind of tags along with you for as long as you let her, out of the mirror, into the ship, and wherever you go. She does not like the idea of being alone right now, or being away from the strongest people that she can find to protect her.
Yeah, I personally am willing to let her come around with us. I'm not sure about the rest of the party.
Can I give Uno a book?
Sure.
Teach her how to talk?
Possibly. Is it like a how to say words book, or what kind of book are we talking about?
No, it's called Morning Kanan Presents Monsters of the Multiverse.
You want to switch kobold type?
And it just shows her that she can change her racial archetype now.
I see. You would be aware that she's explained that she could talk at one point. Something has happened and that she lost her voice.
She died, and it was the price she paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being a shit.
That's fair. Tit for tat.
How tall is she? Because I keep forgetting that like Kenku aren't ace size.
Medium.
So I keep thinking like she's like ace height, but she's probably like what, twice his height.
Well, Kenku can be medium and small.
It
based
is
on the new one.
It is actually somewhat unusual. She is also small for a Kenku. She's a little taller than you are, but she's small for a Kenku, like you.
Because she's my sister.
Maybe she's the missing link between you and Ace. Also, I think the curse you were talking about is Gale's curse.
Yes, I think it was Gale's curse. We watched it transferred to someone else.
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah, like a
golden
fairy
queen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the eyes.
Yeah, the skin told you're turning to gold.
Yeah, I had it's like in my inventory. I have it after I got the Lens of Truth and before the 3 long tablets that we got in that we had to like solve the puzzle for, like the stone ones.
Wait, you have notes for it, but not the recipients?
I just said watch the curse transfer spell, and
Yeah.
I guess in my mind I was like, we're never going to run into curses again. And
That makes
obviously,
sense.
I forgot that we were dealing with Flick.
I forgot that that's like how this campaign started, as Gale stole a veritable fortune in gold from a god.
Yeah.
Right.
And she loved it.
Okay,
She was so happy about it.
Stole is a strong word for everything we have done now.
You used
you
it
are
to
correct.
fund.
I took gold from a place that was abandoned, which we have done since then numerous
That
times.
is true.
Yeah, but the difference was the gods and protectors of those places weren't watching as carefully.
I can't comment on that one.
Norda will definitely go like run to check on Cal and Leah and make sure they haven't done something stupid like touched one of these portals or something.
Of course. Okay.
I should go check on Leo too, actually.
Yeah.
I think
We should
Leah
mention
probably
that.
has thought better. We probably
Yeah.
actually just gather all of our gather everyone up and just have a big like family like, hey, don't touch
Yeah.
these things talk.
Find
I'm
out who's
already
missing.
making signs. They're just like, please do not interact with the portals and the rifts.
They all seem to understand. A lot of them had kind of intuited, oh, these are weird glimpses in other places, or some sort of divination magic, or maybe even teleportation. Lots of theories, and once you were able to kind of explain it all, they are appreciative of finally knowing what's happened and that you guys were behind it. Some of them are kind of excited about, things being set in motion, big things being set in motion. Some of them, especially those who have spent time around Uno, or can see Uno's reaction, are a little concerned. They ask, are we going to be safe in the mirror anymore? Does this mean Ozymandias can get to us? Should we... Are we safe? Is this going to be a problem?
Nordo looks to Gale and Nomad for the answer to that question, also wanting to know it.
The answer, I think, is while rifts from other worlds are opening, yes, what was his name? We just said it. Sorry, it's
Ozymandias.
like 2 a.m.
Ozymandias.
Yes, that one has a potential to see into our mirror dimension, but there are still no spells any of his members could cast that I know of that could find the mirror plane or teleport to it.
And Gale, with that Arcana check, you kind of get the same sort of vibe that, yes, in theory, these things are wormholing straight in and out of dimensions that they shouldn't be able to. But on the other hand, it seems to be happening very chaotically, very randomly. You can't think of a way without a tremendous amount of arcane power that anyone would harness that and use it intentionally. But it might maybe be possible if you were powerful enough.
Yeah, so it's pretty unlikely. However, it is a possibility, which is why we should definitely go to Mechanus as soon as possible, so that we can go and deal with Ozymandias as soon as possible.
Is he in Mechanus?
Because I suspect that poor fortune will follow us at any moment.
Why is he in Mechanus? I thought he was in.
He's not, but we need to go to Mechanus in order to get into Storm Cellar, and we need to get into Storm Cellar so that we can get access to the Stillstone mines there, so that we can get enough Stillstones to create something powerful enough to extract Ozymandias from the Crosswinds.
We have the Semblance engine. That should be powerful. So more Stillstones and backups will help this tremendously. You're right. We should probably do this. Is there anything more pressing we could do before blade shifting?
We could also obviously go and just at some point before then, we should probably go to the Tide King and kill everybody there, except for one person who can tell us how to cure everybody in Storm Cellar.
Wait,
The Wandering
Tide?
Sun.
Oh, Wandering Sun. Sorry.
Oh,
All these
Oh, that should
ships. All these ships have the same name to me.
Yeah, just say that might be helpful to know what we're going to be dealing with.
oh, everyone, this is Mulek. Say hi. He'll
I
be
think he
traveling
left.
with us. What? No, he couldn't have gone anywhere. Because we're on the ship somewhere in the middle of the ocean or something. He can swim, I guess.
Stopped Mulek before.
There's a
Now, currently, while he can't access his special druid powers, definitely it can stop him. Like, yeah, this is Mulek. He'll be traveling with us until he gets to a tree. Though he may swim off, I guess.
Also, did everybody else get their stuff back?
Stuff?
The old campaign people, that is. You know, there's talk about like going around and picking stuff up.
Oh, from just
Most of it was like
it's from the city, I believe.
in different parts of the world, but to the extent
I
that
think we
everyone's stuff
should
was
go
close.
to Prince Sochi's vault. And
I
get
think
those
so,
second
too.
Things. I think it
You
can
know.
solve all of our problems.
I think
Or-
a deck of many things would be a wonderful addition to our party, and perhaps you should all consider that.
What if we made them sentient? Then they could be a sentient deck of many things.
There we go.
How is this happening? How did this happen?
Nothing. Oh, we're just discussing. Like, Mulek is with us still, right?
It's the as soon as you get to the surface, he just wanders off on his own.
Just jumps off the ship.
I told you he
Aren't we
left
flying?
30 minutes ago.
Ha! We were connected by the mind link.
He at least says, "Okay, I'm gonna go find a tree. Thanks for all of this, and we'll get back in touch." And
Okay.
and then he, like,
the
dives off
nearest
and-
one is 3 miles that way in the sea. I don't know. Where are we actually? Where is the tornado?
I've been sitting here for the past 3 sessions, hoping that one of you guys would remember, so that I don't have to check my notes.
I feel like Gale would know where a tornado is.
I thought we left it in fucking
Weren't we like in
Eisenmar?
Yeah, we were at Eisenmar when we last saw them.
There are trees there, right?
Maybe where all
'Cause
these arrows are coming from.
I'm gonna have to dig back through my notes if I.
because we had been in
Oh, I remember where it's at. We left it
Flicktown.
we left it on that vampire island.
right. We were in Flickland, and then we went to Eisenmar to gather up like all the rest of our family, and then we went to Unmirage, and then Salt Bowl. Maybe it's in Salt Bowl. Wasn't the last thing we did before we decided to go back to do this was go to Salt Bowl and Mr. White and all that shit?
It was the moon jump plan. It was the moon jump plan, and then this. So I think you guys were in Eisenbar.
Yeah, it would have been either Eisenmar or
If only we had a lore keeper.
Really sorry, everyone. I thought we had left
or
Eisenmar.
Vault of Lance.
I mean, traditionally, this is the DM's job. I just have to check my notes.
Maybe it was Seatoll.
I know
It
it
wasn't
wasn't.
Seatoll. It was. I think it was like somewhere in, like this area, like
I'm
that
like
continent.
I'm like 90% sure it was either Eisenmar or Salt Bowl. I just can't remember which one it was.
I
Or
think
what-
we
but
did.
you
I
want-
think okay. It wasn't Salt Bowl because we made the big deal about should we stay in Salt Bowl and fix the city, or do we need to leave right now? We decided to stay an extra day before flying to Eisenmar to get everyone. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe if we have all these arrows pointing off of Kiara, and I
That's
don't
right,
think
yeah.
that's an accident because we were going to take all of our family to Kiara. But that was before.
that's
But
right.
that was before we got the mirror. Then we got the mirror, and like, oh fuck Kiara, we don't need it anymore. We have a mirror, which we got in Unmirage from Elise. And we definitely went from Unmirage to Salt Bowl.
Yeah, and then we went to Eisenmar.
Then we
So
went to Eisenmar.
it would have been
I think we
Eisenmar.
were in Eisenmar. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in Eisenbar. And that's where you are now, even if it takes a couple days to sail there.
Perfect. But yeah, not to make my own case here too much. I'll be the first to admit I got selfish reasons. I want to go find the Wandering Sun, but I do think if the thing we want to do the most is go to Stormstellar, figuring out what exactly we're going to be dealing with there would be in our best interest.
Yeah, I know that the Wandering Sun is really personal for you, but I feel like we maybe shouldn't prioritize personal revenge.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, friend Gale. That would be really, really poor to put your own personal interests over everybody else's. And
Yeah, I feel like that would be very selfish, and maybe we should focus on the big picture first.
the important thing is that I put my personal interests out on the table so that we could have this conversation.
It's true, it's really appreciated. And I'm really glad that I can be so open with you guys.
It really helps us to have a communicative and healthy relationship.
Flick yells, "He's lying!"
God, I love being so
Yeah.
closely surrounded by friends that I can trust.
Flick, is that you?
Oh shit, he's here. I can't lie
I'm here.
anymore.
You can't lie anymore. You ruined your fun. Sorry.
This was perfectly the time to.
This is the worst time you could have showed up.
Is the phrase "I'm happy to be so open with you guys" a lie? Flick.
I don't know, but saying that we shouldn't prioritize personal revenge definitely was.
He might know that he shouldn't do it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Maybe something to consider here is where the Wandering Sun is. Can we try turning on the machine and see which way it points? Because if we find out it's, a 5-minute drive from here, then maybe we start with that either way.
Yeah, Leah kind of brings it forward. Flicks a switch. It whirs to life. It's still functional. Give me 2 D100s.
It's trying its very best.
I believe.
You said 2D100, right? I didn't roll the wrong dice just now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, 2 D100.
Thanks for wait 15 minutes for this roll. Better be the right roll. Someone else can roll it if they want to. Last time I tried to roll dice, it took like 10 minutes to load. Which is an
Wow.
exaggeration, but it was like 90 seconds or something.
You said D100s?
Yeah, 2D100.
Oh shit. Well, that was a waste.
Interesting. Interesting.
Does that mean that it's 58 feet away from
It's-
us? It's just right there.
It's directly overhead.
Yep.
Wait, I thought that was just the sun.
No matter what you rolled, it was going to be within 100 feet of you.
Holy fuck, roll 20.
Is it still loading for you?
Yep, it still says rolling the dice.
It was,
That's really.
so Ace got a 58 and a 39. When it flicks on, it points to the south, and a little bit to the east. Ace would know, because of the nature of primeval awareness, that when all you have is a direction, in order to find out how far away from something is, you would have to move your sensor a pretty significant amount and then see how much that direction changes. So, if you guys want, you kind of like fly over several blocks to the other end of Eisenmark, and 10 or 15 minutes you flick it again, and you kind of go back and forth. And let me get a wisdom check from Ace. This feels like Ace would be the most qualified to do this because of primeval awareness.
Oh boy. Unskilled?
Unskilled.
Can I make an argument for Flick as a sailor being able to second him or something?
Anybody with navigator's tools would know that you could also use math to do this. So yeah, if anybody here has navigator's tools proficiency, you can give me a check with that, using either int or wisdom.
I do now.
How many of us can do? I don't want to like roll if someone
Oh,
else is
wait.
better.
Do I just forget how to do everything whenever I'm not me?
Yeah.
That's weird, but
You
okay.
lose your
that
proficiencies.
is the downside of true polymorph, is you lose all your other stuff.
I got it.
I'm gonna chase the rabbit. I'm glad the rabbit wasn't chased, or the rabbit wasn't actually there.
Ace, it's definitely very far. Nomad, working with Flick and anybody else who has navigator's tools proficiency. You're
Probably mode. I think was the other one, right?
No, he's a fake.
Oh, it was Gale.
That's just raw with
Yeah, look, it's
no
good.
proficiency.
Yeah, between the two of you, you guys actually know very well how to triangulate a coordinate from two positions with a direction. And you do a handful of measurements. You pull out some maps. Vasu is actually probably pretty helpful here too with cartography. And between
Yeah, we've got us as well.
between all of you, you guys are able to pretty effectively triangulate that the Wandering Sun is probably a little bit south of Caldus right now.
I use the sextant. We're somewhere here on this map.
Well, it'd take us a while to get there, but could stop in at Mirage, check on Elise.
I'd love to say hi to Elise.
Oh, me too.
I could also take us to Mechanist today.
Did I hear you were going to Unmirage?
No,
Oh.
you were left back under the sea.
Oh, okay.
Though, if you want, actually, if we were going to Unmerge at some point, did Solange want to come as well?
Absolutely.
Boat's full, sorry.
Wow. Shitposting aside, no, he'd actually love to go back because, as far as I know, he hasn't been there in. At least, I don't know if he went back after C1 at all, but like
Privately,
been a while.
would I know if Solange reappearance in Unmerge would cause social unrest?
Not any
It's
more
like
than some other old man showing up.
He's a historical figure.
I mean, at the same time, like, who's gonna believe that this man traveled 1,000 years into the future?
I'm back, bitches!
Probably should be like, oh, this guy's clearly senile, and he's just making this up.
It would certainly be an event once that came out, if they were able to confirm, which they would, that he is who he says he is, and that he was the original founder of this place from the ancient past. Yeah, that would be a big historical event. It's really hard to say what kind of social ramifications that might have.
The second coming of Sal.
Ace,
do
what's up?
Oh, I just at some point I wanted to find Joker and show him the schematics that Nomad and I worked on, and show him my ride.
Hell yeah! Oh, this is surprisingly cool. Are you gonna put flame paintings on it?
Yeah, look, it's right here. We're gonna put flame paint so it can go fast.
Perfect. Very important. Very aerodynamic. Wow, I could actually kind of use one of these. This thing is rated up to 3 tons.
I'm hoping to overclock it. Maybe try to get to go faster. Maybe drop giant things on enemies.
Well, if you ever need somebody to show you how to change the oil in it or something, I could I could teach you how to
that.
change the oil.
Maybe you can help me work on it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm sorry, this is precious, he says, wiping away briny black ink from his eyes.
Nomad, do you have any way to, plane shift?
Yeah. What do you need?
Well, since we have to fly to the Wandering Sun, why don't we leave a couple people here to fly the tornado, specifically Sal and a few other people, down to Unmirage, and we can take the Red to Mechanus and then teleport back to Unmirage and meet them there, and then continue down to Caldus.
But aren't we going to Mechanus to go to
Road
Stormstellar though? So why would we go to Mechanus to get to Caldus?
We have to go to Mechanus at some point, regardless. But we have to fly the tornado down to get to the Wandering Sun.
That part,
but that's good.
I thought you said Mechanus leads to Stormstellar.
No, we have to go there to figure out how to do something.
And what's that?
I can't remember. I wasn't paying attention, but I know we have to go there because apparently we do, or something. I don't know.
God, remind us what we need to do in Mechanus.
Right.
I wasn't sure this was like a Gale scheme or if he just.
No, this is legit. I'm
There's a real plot point here.
We had
a thing to do.
This is an actual plot point, and also, if we just travel for 7 days immediately after getting a long rest, we're just wasting time.
Yeah, no, I support this plan. If we're going to be sitting around for 7 days on the boat, might as well. We can't afford to waste time.
You received in a letter from Poe.
Right, it was Poe's letter that said we needed to go to Mechanus because they would have stuff for us.
Yeah, there's 2 big problems with getting into Stormcellar. The first is the cellar door. Big old force field. Surrounds the entire city like an egg. Very hard to get through. Normally,
20th level teleportation, though.
Certainly a possibility. It is reasonable to think that there might be other ways to solve this problem. You would know that normally you can turn the cellar door on and off from inside of the city. And actually, as former royalty, you would know that the controls for that are within the royal palace. You know right where they are. You know the room. You know the lever to pull. However, Poe mentioned in her letter that there is a backup throttle in the plane of Mechanus within a specific vault that you decoded. So that is one way that you could disable the cellar door if you wanted to do that. You would know that the second problem is that the entire city is being flooded with some sort of mind control gas. That one still up in the air. That one did not have anything related to Mechanus in it.
Right, and that's why we need to go talk to people and break some kneecaps on the Wandering Sun.
Right.
And if we do that, assuming that in a week's time the Wandering Sun is still there.
Can Leah tell us approximately how fast the Wandering Sun moves? Is it likely to still be in that ballpark in a week?
It teleports, so...
Does it? I thought it just floated the fuck around.
No, we saw it teleport in, remember? When we resurrected the Tarask.
No, that wasn't the Wandering Sun itself, was it? That was just his airship.
Yeah, that was just an airship. The Wandering Sun is a massive city-sized balloon. With a bunch of wooden platforms all around it, docks that stick off, buildings built on those platforms. Leah says that she's never seen it teleport, but she does know that it is capable of moving surprisingly fast once it gets going. It is called the Wandering Sun for a reason. It doesn't stay in one place long. It tends to move sometimes over towards Wellingquet, where it sells slaves. It's literally a commercial business. It has to go to town sometimes. And then other times it kind of sails back over to the east, where it acquires merchandise.
I assume that they just like undo the knot on the balloon and just it just like flies really fast across the water.
Gale, having done extensive study on airships to make the tornado, thinks that this entire idea is almost certainly preposterous without the use of magic of some sort. There's no way that you could make a balloon big enough to do this, or keep it hot enough to do this.
But can we make a needle big enough to pop it?
You're a siege weapon. You are the needle.
Based on my own and possibly Flick's understanding of airships and just sailing and navigation, do we have any idea how, could we guesstimate where this thing will end up?
Where's the jet stream this week?
You could give me some sort of an intelligence check with, navigation or sailing, sure.
Sure. I'll give Flick a help.
Yeah, I would also allow wisdom here for just, a gut feeling, because it's kind of a little of both. It's both prediction and just a gut sense. So either one's fine.
Okay,
Sure.
my wisdom's a +6 right now, so.
Shall I take second and do the same tool check I did earlier?
Sure.
Go for it.
Oof.
You're at 20 because Gil's helping you.
Okay, cool. It's not bad.
Alright. 20, 28. Yeah, you could make some reasonable deductions off of that. It's the start of a new month, which usually means that businesses have just kind of started a new fiscal section. They have money to spend. It's also probably a time of economic turmoil because of the big global event that's happening. It's likely that there is either a spending freeze or a spending boom going on. In other words, it's not going to be business as usual. It seems likely that the ship would probably stay close to civilization for a little while, at least for a week or two. At least until it knows whether it is safe to venture off into the wild. So you think it is reasonable to deduce that it's probably going to stay somewhere either at Caldus or west of it, towards Wellingquet, for at least a week or two.
Sounds like just sailing towards Unmirage is a good start anyway.
Mhm.
While we go to Mechanus.
Yeah, and then we can teleport back to Unmirage, and hopefully Tornado will be there when we get back.
If you're keen on it, Little Dragon, and Leah is as well. She's a damn fine sailor, clearly. She could take the helm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
I'll leave Leah, Leo, and Sal in charge of sailing.
Leah looks over to Leo and Sal and says, yes, I'd be happy to be in charge of sailing.
I was looking forward for a couple of days downtime to recover mana and learn some new spells. But this works too.
Didn't you just get all your mana back?
We don't get all our mana back on Sunday.
I thought that angel helped you.
Nope.
Speaking of using your mana for Nomad, the other thing is, as long as Leah's sailing the ship and has the thing what tracks the Wandering Sun anyway, she could also just sail toward it. If it moves, just keep going that direction, and we could get in touch with her and tell her where to meet us, or have her tell us where to meet her. I guess on Mirage is probably our best bet anyway.
So let's bullet point this plan, I guess. Where are we headed? What do we need?
Sounds to me as though the 8 of us, the queer union, or using the rug to go to Mechanus,
Mm-hmm.
which I believe is a place to get a thing that we need. In the meantime, Leah and the rest are going to sail the Tornado to Unmirage, which is roughly the direction of where the Wandering Sun is right now.
Sounds about right.
And then we plane shift back to Unmirage, made from there, with the thing that we need from Mechanus. And then from there we go to the Wandering Sun.
Right.
So I guess
Do
we
we
don't really-
have, I guess, a material plane fork?
If you have one in your inventory, you do. If not, you could look around and try to find one.
Let me see. Don't think we could find one on this ship.
I
Sorry,
have a
go on.
fork.
Is it attuned to this plane?
I mean, it's from the material plane.
Is it worth
So if you just-
250 gold?
Oh,
Tuning fork.
Can I look around our immediate area to see if there's one just laying around?
Sure. Give me a perception or investigation check.
I'll go check the kitchen. I'm sure we got forks.
A tuning.
find Gale there looking for a fork too.
Otherwise, like the plane shifts, I don't have it prepared. Is the thing, but when I prepare it tomorrow, I do need a fork in order to come back.
It needs to be worth 250 gold.
It does.
All right, give me a minute. I'm
Tuning fork specifically.
gonna
I will
take
say,
my bar of platinum and I'll go into my workshop and I'm gonna cut it in half so it's worth exactly 250 gold, and I'm gonna forge that into a
Wait.
fork.
Hold on. I was gonna
Huh?
say, if we're just worried about forging things, I have like a bunch of auricalcum and maybe not that, but like some but fuck, what's that? Mithril. Yeah, I've got a bunch of cool metals and fey metals that I've just been carrying around and using for absolutely nothing. It's probably cheaper than your platinum, so let's make a fork out of that. Maybe it'll give us a lot of fun alone time in your workshop.
I do like fun alone time.
As long as it's worth 250 or more, and we can attune it to this plane before we leave, it'll be fine.
I mean, I don't know about a tune and nothing, but I can sure make a fork.
quick DM's note.
Yeah.
Because this is the material plane, it'll be a little bit cheaper. I would say it probably takes about 200 gold in materials to make it.
Yeah, knock off 50.
Would I know how to attune the fork to the material plane?
Almost certainly. Give me an Arcana check.
I feel like you just know, because you're an artificer.
I don't work with interplanar stuff very much, though.
That's fair. Do you have advantage from from Vasu helping you?
Okay, Moat, I need you to use command on the earth and tell it to attune to this fork.
Is that how
Alright.
that works?
Everybody stand back.
Well, the fork has to attune.
Give the man some space. God damn.
Here, hang on. I'm gonna
Wait,
use
so
the
am I
help
commanding
action.
The fork or the earth? I'll just do both and be safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
good
gonna
call.
I'm gonna use the help action, and the help action is going to be me using Shape Earth or whatever the cantrip of it is
Uh-huh.
to make a little dirt man
Okay.
with a hand capable of holding the fork,
All right.
Power reaping.
and that'll hopefully be easier for the earth to attune to it.
I'll cast a second level command and tell them to kiss.
Okay. All right.
Here I thought Vasu was going to be like, I've got Bjarl, the locus of this plane.
I mean, yeah, he could probably help too.
All of
Just the
you
locus of Earth.
collectively come up with 6 or 7 different plans over the course of the next 2 or 3 hours on how to attune this thing to material plane. And somewhere around the 4 or 5 hour mark, you've got this little earthen man that is holding it. He's attuned to it. He's holding it like a sword, kind of, I guess. You are when you command the earth to attune, nothing really seems to happen. But then, like, you're able to get your hands on like a little dust method that you can command, and you command it to attune to it. and it does some weird stuff. And I don't know. You go through so many different stupid plans. Somehow by the 5th hour mark or so, you hear a faint shimmering ring, and this thing is attuned to the material plane.
Turns out mortal stupidity is the heart and soul of the material plane.
Well, it's a shotgun plan, right? Like, you just throw enough ideas out and one of them is bound to hit. That's how I do all of my artificing.
It's also how you do all your
Genius.
shotgunning, as a matter of fact.
Right.
Fuck me.
We have
Does
a fork.
Never mind. You know what? Some mysteries are better unsolved.
No, Ash.
Carry on.
What do you mean?
No,
What
no,
do you
no,
mean?
no, I'm taking
Ask
this one
the
to the
What do
grave.
you mean?
Taking this one to the grave. You guys have
No.
a fork attuned to the material plane.
God.
That was easy. Good work, Moat. Sort of pats him on the back.
Hey, I
5
know dirt.
hours.
Look at this dirt man over here.
It's a team effort.
He's the
team
real
effort.
MVP.
I'm gonna go
Really
pack up
is.
our snacks and stuff. Get some sandwiches brown bagged for this trip.
Nomad checks in after a bit. He's like, "Hi, how's the fork going?"
We did it. Somehow.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, this definitely will work as a focus. Might I request 1 day to prepare the plane shift spell and recover some mana and learn some new spells.
Well, we're probably gonna... You could have done that yesterday.
Yeah, but I didn't know we needed it until
Okay.
earlier today.
Yeah.
I
But
wouldn't
you can
mind
do it tomorrow. Well,
Sure.
we're in Mechanus.
if it's all the same.
Are we staying there for 24 hours?
Probably.
If it's all the same.
It's like a whole city.
I'm kind of with Fred Nomad. I wouldn't mind just one night on the ship, sleep in a bed, and catch up with Leah and Cal a little bit. I know we're in a hurry, but
All right.
I don't have all my rage points back, and I can't rage if I don't have 100% of them.
And I need to talk to Joker anyways, so...
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to like my son, my canon son.
And then you can all meet up for dinner at my place. I'm sure my parents won't mind.
We bring 50 people to your parents' house.
Hey, Mom.
We could just
I brought friends.
We could just make a
Are
big
they-
enough table in the mirror.
Yeah, they're also in the mirror.
Yeah.
I'm making mac and cheese.
Hell,
You're
Oh,
baking
Mrs.
this-
Vasu, you make the best mac and
can,
cheese.
can birds can birds eat pasta?
I think the problem is if they eat uncooked pasta, it expands in their stomach and they explode. But as long as it's cooked ahead of time, it should be
Sure, I
fine.
think it's about slurping.
Shrek
He's got
told
no
me that
lips.
was rice.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't.
it's rice.
Okay.
I was mostly just thinking, like, can they adequately chew it?
Yeah, absolutely. They cannot Lady in the Trampet because they don't have lips.
Like, I'm pretty sure that almost all grain stuff is actually pretty bad for birds. Like, pastas, bread, that sort of stuff.
They eat seeds, and that's what grains are.
It's different though.
That sounds like science to me.
How many rocks did your mom eat?
Just like
Oh,
how
my mom-
minotaurs have to occasionally eat a pebble.
My mom can eat so many rocks.
I ate 3 rocks this morning.
My mom can eat more rocks than your mom.
Well, my mom's dead, so
I'm sorry.
actually I think she's inside me, which is really weird.
Well, you should have turned the tables on her.
Well, they're all...
I don't understand what you're saying.
God damn
Christ.
it.
Well, they're all
Oh, I
having
get
a
it.
lovely
Yeah.
dinner.
It's a birth thing.
It's a pregnancy joke. Ha ha ha.
Sorry.
That's how she died.
That's worse, Basu.
Oh, God.
Basu, why are you
no.
laughing harder?
No, this is Philo laughing.
Well, Vasu is being highly insensitive.
Vasu's, after realizing what he said and the context of all of it, and Ace adding to the context of it, is probably just, like, chugging water
Mortified.
like Bessie Pinkerton.
Just fly
X-Men.
straight up and disappear.
It's It's D who's laughing that hard.
Almost certainly.
Yeah. Or Shu. Shu doesn't give a shit.
Anyway.
I'm
please.
sorry for spoiling this magnificent mac and cheese dinner.
Where's the meat?
So Joker and Gale aren't at dinner because Gale has asked to speak with Joker inside of the sad shack.
Right, you do all your work in here?
Yeah.
It's real small.
Yeah, it's not great, but, when you're on the go, you gotta make do.
Remind me to never travel for any reason.
Alright. I need the heart.
Why do you call it the sad shack?
Everybody else calls it that. It wasn't my idea.
Okay.
It was just going to be the workshop.
I see.
But
Was the crying corner?
I cried here once because something very traumatic happened, and ever since it's been the crying corner.
I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know how to react to that. I have to be very honest with you. I'm having a hard time parsing what I've just been told.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway. What's this?
What does he pick up?
Fuck, man, I don't know anything to change the topic.
Alright. Yeah, that's a mug.
Oh, right, for drinking out of, yeah. That makes,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It says world's best dad.
You have kids?
Yeah. Nomad got it. And, no.
Yeah. Kids are great, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I need the heart.
Boy, wow, I'm not, like, in a great position to tell you to know, but what do you need it for?
That's for me to know and you to never find out or ask about ever again.
Boy, you drive a hard bargain. You working with dragons?
No.
I'm so glad that he's in a position to actually ask this question. Please give me a deception check. Joker, 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 Joker. Oh, that's really good. Alright, how is he at this?
Is he as good as his son? Probably not. They're both artificers now.
Alright, listen, this is shady as fuck. I don't have to tell you that, you know that already. But I can't say no. You've saved my life. You've been helping with Ace, who apparently might. Yeah. Anyway, you've been really helpful. So I guess I owe you one. You didn't get it from me. I don't know anything about it. And I'm gonna need like 4 hours to scrub all my fingerprints from it. Literally and also metaphorically, I've made some adjustments.
What kind of adjustments?
Superficial. Mostly just kind of trying to reroute some of the power so that I could potentially fit it into a device at a different angle that fit a little bit better. It's nothing to the internals.
Alright. I can... Okay.
So, is that it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna go do that then. I'll get it to you tonight.
Alright. I'm gonna follow him and just kind of sit over his shoulder.
Yeah. He gets like 8 steps outside of the crying closet. Realizes that you're going to follow him the entire time. Like, all right. Okay. No, I should have expected this. This is fine. Listen. I'm not in the position to negotiate with you, but there's a lot of very sensitive proprietary stuff in my workspace. If you can just like pretend that you didn't see any of it, and maybe if you make anything based on it, like throw me a bone.
My lips are sealed.
Well, yeah, I appreciate it. All right, cool. You get back there, and he pulls it out and begins to kind of undo some modifications that he's made to it. He throws some tarps over things here and there, but honestly, based on everything that you're able to glean before he does, most of it is kind of absurd to begin with. He's brilliant in a weird sort of way. His modifications are dubious. And yeah, he gets to work on it. I don't know if you stand there watching him literally the entire 4 hours that he like starts undoing his modification. If he does, he probably gets a little bit huffy about it, but he can't stop you.
By hour 1, I try and take it. I'm just like, I'll scrub it myself. It's fine.
You know what? All right, yeah, that's fine. That's got to be better than this. Yeah, no, there's no way that is any worse than me doing this for the next 3 hours. Here, it's all yours.
All right. Then I guess we'll show up for dinner an hour late.
Perfect.
And I'll ask
There you are.
Nomad can you prestidigitate this clean?
Certainly.
Thank you.
But also, we should talk about the semblance engine. He just pulls out the portraits for Gale and the rest of it, and what modifications we need to use or make to it in order to affect Ozymandias.
Yeah, I was going to do that right now after dinner.
Oh, sure, certainly.
I'm
I'm just here watching everyone eat anyway.
I imagine we can go and get some paints while we're still in Eisenmar.
Oh no, Matt, you're looking so thin. Have some mac and cheese.
Probably excellent. I've had one.
One Mac?
Just one mac.
Just one mac? Not even any cheese with it.
If I eat...
You're
certainly
withering
had...
up. Come
His
here.
tentacles are like
certainly had
flailing
cheese.
and curling as it's just not what he wants to have in his mouth.
It's in my mouth, but I cannot physically digest it. And if I eat any more than this, or rather, ingest any more of this, I will become sick.
D kind of chimes up and is like, "Did you know that if you inhale something into your lungs, it stays there forever?"
It depends on what you've inhaled.
Yeah.
I heard it doesn't matter what you inhale.
He holds a Mac up in the palm of his hand and then pulls it real close to his face. He's like, and your mom just beats him at the back of the head. So he spits it out. Stop playing with your food. You're going to get it stuck in your lungs forever and then you'll die. And then I'll have to pay for
Don't
it.
do that. It's gonna be like that one time you ate a watermelon seed. You know there's still one growing in you, right?
No.
Huh?
The acids and the proteins in my body have broken it down for sure. Otherwise,
Nah, man.
it would have killed me by now. Yeah?
Nah, man, you got a big vine going all through your intestines right now.
Nah.
It's gonna come out any minute.
Nah.
Which end's it gonna come out, though? That's the real gamble.
I don't believe you.
Then I imagine Vasu's mom slaps him in the back of the head, too, for talking like that at the dinner table.
That might be a problem for you, bird half, but I've got a sphincter.
Hey, I got one of those, too. I'm a cat from the waist
Boys,
down.
don't talk about sphincters while we're eating mac and cheese.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
just
fingers,
really-
where's our Nardaloid?
Really lovely pasta.
It's over
This is
here.
rock.
Oh, it's like in my pocket. Do you need it for anything?
Oh, no, I was just making sure we still had it.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about sphincters.
What would your father think if he heard you talking about sphincters?
Whose father?
He's here at the table and he's trying not to laugh.
Would you like to go somewhere private, Gale?
Yeah, Dad, what do
No.
you think about this? What do you think about your son bringing up sphincters at the dinner table?
I tug on Vasu's shoulder or arm.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Is that watermelon thing real?
What? Oh, no, definitely not.
Are you sure? Because I ate a watermelon seed about... Oh, and then I could cast Thorn Whip and have a Thorn Whip shoot out of my mouth and grab Vasu by the neck.
Oh, God!
Give me a performance check.
It's pretty bad. I used all of my deception on Joker.
Diva,
Are you giving enough of a social cue that I can give you the help action with this to help fool my little brother?
Absolutely not. I was trying to fuck with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. D enjoys the fact that his older brother is being choked by a vine right now. He doesn't seem to be like shitting himself in fear or anything like that. He's just laughing.
Vasu probably
Does
likes a
Vasu's
little
mom
bit
go up and
too.
slap Gale now? She's everyone's mom now.
Spank me next, Mom.
Boy, she might. No, she's too polite to hit a stranger, but she does think about it.
She gives that mom glare.
Oh, yeah. If you had eaten dinner here 2 more nights, you would be at the status where she would come up and smack you.
Nodor leans over to Leah and it's like, I don't think we're going to get invited over here for dinner again. We better enjoy it while we can.
This mac and cheese is a pleasant consistency.
Hey, do you think that watermelon thing is true?
Absolutely not.
It sounds pretty true. I believe it.
Oh, it's definitely true.
Birds eat seeds literally as a main staple.
Yeah,
and
but-
they don't.
yeah,
grow
but
things
birds
in
don't
them.
Yeah, but
have
you see that-
sphincters.
Did I
Yeah,
look
but
like
yeah,
a bird
They
to you?
have- we have
The thing-
sphincters.
The thing about that is that birds are like meant to eat seeds, so our digestive system can do it. But like cats, that's not.
Didn't you just say that you were feline from the waist down?
Yeah, but like that's like
That's
I
part
got
of your
a.
digestive system.
But like I got a cat butt and I got a cat dick, but like I don't have like a cat intestine and stomach acid, right? I got the best of both.
There are so many medical inaccuracies uttered at this table that I must intercede.
What, you wrote the medical textbook on griffins? I don't even know what's going on with me half the fucking time, pal.
You
All
don't
right,
know what's
we
going
can-
on half the time, anyways.
We can fix this very simply. A checkup. Would you like a checkup? We will do a checkup some point.
I guess.
Have you ever had a checkup?
No, we
You ever
only
had a rectal exam, Vasadiva?
He
Colonoscopy
snapped on his
time.
latex gloves very well.
No, you see, we believe in herbal remedies and natural medicine and
No, it's all
eyes and
right.
eyes.
My
Should've put
fingers-
herbs up his butt.
My fingers are very long and very thin.
Does he put the gloves on his hands or on his tentacles?
Damn it.
God. I don't know if anybody else is gonna know what I'm talking about, but in restaurants and in kitchens, it's very common to have these little things called finger cots, which are normally by anybody working on a line just called finger condoms because that's basically exactly what they are.
Right.
They're meant to be like when you get a cut on your finger or whatever and you put a band-aid on it, then you put just like the finger cot on that single finger so you don't have to wear like a full glove or whatever, or
Yeah.
oftentimes you do both or whatever. But now I'm
Tentacle
imagining just fucking Nomad rolling one of these one at a time onto all of his tentacles.
So
I
if he
hate
did
the
that
image.
and he wore a surgical mask, would it go over the top of his tentacles or like underneath over his beak, underneath on this tentacle?
I think I was thinking like SpongeBob when he wore the glove on his head, but that's not relevant. Never mind.
I feel like he could wear a glove on his face if he needed. But yeah, we could do a checkup and we could figure out what's wrong with you or what's right with you. If
Not
any
at my
questions.
dinner table. You will do no such thing.
Not here,
Oh
of
no, not
course
at the
not.
table, Ma.
Can I help wash dishes or something? I feel pretty bad about how my friends have treated you.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very sweet. Of course.
Really just a lovely dinner, thank you.
Oh, well, you flatter me. I've heard about your cooking. I don't know if I can compare to that.
Oh, we'd be happy to have you in the mayor sometime.
You guys are able to finish up your dinner, get things cleaned up. She appreciates your help in the kitchen and reiterates over and over that she doesn't blame you for her children being idiots.
Children.
Probably ask at some point if anybody wants to play cards or anything. A little bit of that Midwestern hospitality going on.
I want to play Uno.
And I want to cheat.
Sick. Give me a cheating check.
I want to cheat.
Yes. Second that comes up, I'm just like, sorry, I gotta take care of some work.
Joker, do you want to play card games and cheat with me?
I can out-cheat the best of them. You ready? You ready to get trounced?
Yes.
All right.
Can I purchase magical ink?
Yeah, they definitely would have that here.
Where are we in the mirror or in Eisenmar right
You guys
now?
are in Eisenmar currently.
Okay, because I thought that my parents were also in the mirror.
They were.
I thought we
but
gathered
we're,
everyone into the mirror. I thought.
Okay,
Yeah, we're in the mirror, but also we are
Okay.
currently in Eisenmar.
I mean,
Okay.
we probably should be in the mirror because it's probably the easiest way to have a kitchen big enough to fit everyone.
That's
Our
probably
dining room.
true. I don't know if you guys could even all fit in Vasu's
Not-
house.
We
Voss
could
got a pretty
probably
big
like
house.
in a literal sense, we could probably sardine in there, but we wouldn't be able to move.
Nord was in heaven in that mirror, being able to just imagine himself a fully stocked kitchen.
With 8 gas burners
So many gas burners.
and an island and a hanging pot rack.
If he needs a weirdly specific kitchen tool, he can just summon it into his hand. I'm rock hard thinking about this.
And
What
there's a
is
Hewitt
this tool
handy
for,
spice rack
Nordo?
mounted on the wall.
Well, that's if you need a julienne, a pepper, or something.
Who's Julianne?
It's an Orcish word for cut.
Wow, it's a fancy
You're talking, Julian is like really thin, long.
Oh, Julianne
Yeah.
is like the Jesus Christ of cooking.
Yeah, it paints.
Isn't that nice girl you were going to take to the dance that one time, but you threw up
What?
all over yourself?
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know the one, right? Never talk
No.
to her again.
Shut up. That was Jennifer.
All right. You do
Julianne stood
find,
me up.
That Joker.
Yeah, my passive perception is 30, so I can just see how he's cheating, and I'm going to try to copy him.
Sure. You're able to occasionally find some subtle hand movements here and there. But you do find that as experienced as he is as an inventor, and as a spellcaster, this seems to be the one thing that he is really, really good at, is playing and cheating at games, and especially card games.
Were you a hustler?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Wink. Wait. How would I even wink? I only have one eye.
I like to assume that Nomad's saying wink instead of winking has rubbed off on Ace. Now it's like working the opposite way.
Yep.
works, does it not?
I mean, he's a kinku. He copies people. It's what he does.
It's true. It's in his blood.
Oh my gosh, I have
Oh,
mannerisms.
I forgot to tell you. Mom's inside me now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna reel that one back. I'm going to assume that this is something magical. What's going on?
So remember how we told you the plan?
Yes.
Well, all the souls, we kind of like they're in us now, and her soul's in me now.
You're walking around with like the souls of a bunch of dead people in you.
I mean, yes. Yes?
Cool. Wow. Remind me not to die anytime soon.
Don't die anytime soon.
Cool. It's not that I wouldn't want to be in you specifically. It's just like, if that's what happens when you die, that's a little bizarre.
Well, we're trying to, fix it so that.
Right. Well, you let me know if I can help with that in any way. Anybody else have any big plans for the night?
Not big
Yeah.
or major, but I will tell Leah about everything that happened and about getting mom and dad's souls back and all of that happened down there. Just kind of fill her in on
Is
what happened.
what he said true? Are they she kind of looks at your chest. Are they in there?
I think so. In truth, it's all way above my head. I don't know how this works, but we found the machine, what was keeping all the souls in it after they died, for safekeeping, and we let all the souls out, and they was with them. Mom and dad both were, and they were there. I saw them real as day, real as you or me, and then they just kind of like points at his chest. Just went in there. I mean, I don't feel nothing. I can't. I tried thinking real hard about him to see if I could talk to him in my mind or something, but the way they told us they had this real clever rat folk down there what made the whole thing, and he said that they're with us now and they're watching everything we do, and they're with us apparently.
That's bizarre. That's crazy. And she kind of tucks her one false arm a little bit farther back. Not like all the way behind her back, but it's clear that she suddenly kind of wants it to be a little out of view.
Right. It wasn't just them. When we were in Larvalfen, the company was there, and me and my friends, we attacked their ship and killed a bunch of them, trying to set the slaves free. Just maybe 20 or so of them in there, and felt good about it at the time, as terrible as that sounds now, because when we left, the company came back and killed hundreds, thousands of people.
I heard about that, the attack. I guess I didn't hear about what they did, but I assumed that. I don't know of a better way to say it, but that's how these people are. That's how they operate. They thrive on fear. They thrive on this illusion that if you touch them, they will burn you to the ground. And it wasn't me this time, but they've been doing this for as long as I've known them, as long as I've been with them. It has been me in the past.
He just kind of puts a hand on her shoulder, and all those people that died in Narvelfen, they were down there too in that big machine, and now they're in here. And he kind of points at himself again, and it's my fault that they're all dead. They'd be alive if it weren't for me, if it weren't for what I did there. No, I wasn't the one what killed him, but it was still my fault. But we're this close. We've got the thing. We know how to get to him, and we're gonna make it all right. You and me both. And that I talked to somebody down there. An angel, as crazy as that sounds. And I don't think that you or me is ever going to feel any better about the things that we done. But we can do good things. We can kill that bastard once and for all. Make sure shit like this doesn't happen to anybody else. It ain't gonna make us feel a dime better, but it'll make a whole lot of people what maybe would have been dead alive instead, and that's gotta be worth something.
I am not in a place to ask for much, but you're going there, right? You're going to the sun to fuck them up.
We're going, Leah, if you want to.
Good.
It's up to you, but I hope you'll come.
I didn't even have to ask. Good. I can't imagine not being there.
I've dreamed for years and years of what I'm going to do to Anton when I get my hands on him. But nothing would make me happier than hand him over to you.
Yeah, there's plenty of him to kill for both of us.
I know that angel told me that it wasn't going to make me feel better, but I think it's going to.
What does an angel know about revenge anyway? What have they ever had done to them?
He just sort of smiles and claps her shoulder a little bit.
Well, and she kind of like looks down at your chest again. It's like, if you're all in there, it's good to see you, and I'll try to make things right. She kind of like looks up and realizes how weird that was, and is like, all right, I'm gonna go sleep.
They were happy to see you. I showed them the drawing I had done. They'll be happy to see you again.
Well, I will look forward to it. I have to admit I'm a little jealous, but hopefully I'll see them soon. Not too soon.
Not too soon's right. Still got some work to do.
She kind of like holds her arm back up and snaps a finger, and there's just a little crack of lightning that comes off of it. She gives a nod and says, yeah, we'll fuck them up real good. Starts to walk off. Anybody else have business for the night?
I'm just writing spells into my spell shard,
Perfect. Yep.
expending requisite materials. I'll just add it later when I decide which spells to put in
Totally fine.
from these books.
Have the whole day to do it. You can get as many as you need, probably.
Yeah, I'm also just spending some time with my Kuatoa friends, and less about like asking them questions about, hey, can you make gods, or what can you worship, and more about like, hey, how have you guys been doing? How have you been feeling? Is there anything you need? I tell them bedtime stories if need be.
Excellent. Give me any old charisma check, persuasion, or performance. Anything is fine.
Let's see. I'm going to use a bonus action to at least be proficient
Perfect.
in performance. 12. Very slightly above average.
Yeah. It's as awkward as you would expect from an Illithid trying to tell bedtime stories to a bunch of Kuatoa.
While working.
But it's like a change of the pace, and they realize that it's kind of a change of the pace, and they treat it as a special event. And they appreciate it. They kind of, they eventually sort of catch up on the idea that, like, this is, it's not supposed to be an academic thing, that it's supposed to be sort of a ritual of some sort, maybe, is probably how they're interpreting it.
It's a bonding experience.
Yeah, you kind of reinforce over
It's
and
a
over.
bonding-
It's not a religious thing. It's not a religious
It's not
thing.
really. It's a religious thing, but also like every story I'm telling is completely factual.
And you have to like.
It comes off as a lesson
Right.
with the performance
In
check. I imagine.
1842, John Smith went to this place and wrote this book about this. And
So have I told you the story of the 3 Crusketeers?
Excellent.
I tell them that story.
They
Do
love
like
that story. They love that story. That's a good story for them.
Oh, good. Everything else I have is too dry.
Yep. No, they're a big fan of that one.
It's like a streamlined Kuatoa wet dream, like
right.
something that is a beast like 1 hour later as an angel.
Oh yeah, like it legit is very up their alley. These little critters were directly ascended as a result of their service, and they take that one to heart for sure.
I want to play a Kuatoa so bad.
My backup character for Nomad is technically a Kuatoa.
Is it Numad?
No, Nomad is like will literally disappear the moment he dies. turn into ice. Oh yeah, Newmad is there. Can he give me advantage?
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
he accentuates the story here and there.
I'll just roll it again. See if it's a little better. He gives me a +6 to it though, which is like 21.
16. You already rolled the first.
Yeah, no, +6 is 21, right?
Oh, right. 22.
Oh, 22. Thank you.
Yeah, it goes very well. They enjoy that story tremendously.
The crab story. At
Yeah.
least.
There's not a whole lot else that happens that night. Flick Cass is very glad to be kind of back somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Goes through some of what happened down there. He does kind of ponder some of the people that he's known that have passed on. He was never like super close with his parents or his family or anything like that, but he does note that, if they're in there, he waves hello and he hopes that, they don't mind too much that he's turned into a mercenary and abandoned the church. But he kind of gets the feeling that they would understand.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's see, what else? Yeah, Mo, what's up?
Not a huge deal. Well, Nordo is in the kitchen prepping snacks and sandwiches and whatever. I find my way over to him. Just, hey, Nordo, you want some help with all that?
Oh yeah, sure. I don't know if you ever tried to make enough sandwiches and bags of nuts for 8 people, but it's an organizational nightmare. Come on in here.
Doesn't seem like it could be that hard.
It's
Famous last words.
Famous Mo.
it's not all that bad. It's weird. I feel like we got these souls living in us now, and according to Trace, they can see everything we're doing, and it's kind of weird feeling like I got 8,000 people watching me cook.
Yeah, are we technically eating for like 8,000 people now? You know what, I'm not going to think about it too much.
I was kind of thinking about it. He points down at the food he's making. It's like I made my dad's favorite, thinking maybe he can taste it in there. That sounds stupid, but I don't know how this works.
I don't think it's stupid. No, cast mage hand and it's making a sandwich, and then I'm making a sandwich, and perfect. Hey, listen, I was hoping maybe you could help me with something.
Sure, anything, Mo. What you need?
Will you just help me keep an eye on Gale?
He kind of sets his chef knife down and sets his towel down. Of course, something wrong.
Nah, I mean, it's all fine. I just, he's so shifty.
It's rolling. Hold on.
So shifty, huh? I love the way he said that.
Did he do something particular? What was shifty? I mean, I know what you mean. He has been acting kind of strange lately, but I just figured it was the pressure of all this for going back to his home soon and all that, and he's got we got all these portals everywhere. And what was he? Was there something particular he was?
Okay, look, he made me promise not to tell anybody this, so you cannot tell anybody this. Gale is sick. Like, really sick. And I'm afraid that he might try to do something drastic. So I just kind of don't want him to, run off and be alone. Like, we can't help him.
Sick, like how? Something is he?
His whole leg fell off, Norda.
No, I mean I get it. I ain't gonna pry. If he told you not to tell me, then I don't want you to say more than you have to. But Yeah,
I've only got 2 eyes, and
no,
just
I
try
understand.
to keep him in your sights, I guess.
Yeah, I'll make sure I'll do just that. I'll make sure I keep him in my sights. I won't let him out. I want to let him out of view. I would hate to. I don't want to think about it. I can't stand the thought of something happening to him. He's
Yeah,
the heart and soul of this whole operation.
I think I might be able to help him, but I just need some more time.
Sure. If he's sick, I ain't, trained or nothing, but I've tended to the sick, tended to the wounded. I could take a look at him, although I guess I'd kind of
Yeah,
give up the secret a little.
I think the whole thing about his disease is if you bring it up, he will just perish. So I think it's best if we keep this as quiet as possible.
Of course, between you and me, but for now, I guess until you tell me otherwise, I'll just keep an eye on him.
Okay, thank you. I didn't want to be the only one watching him. You know.
No, I get it. 2 sets of eyes. There's been so much going on. Gotta have each other's back, like always.
Alright, well, I've made my 3 sandwiches. Think I'm gonna call it a night.
Oh, those are all 3 for you. Okay, got it.
No, I just meant like the 3 I was gonna contribute. I assumed we were gonna make some more at some point, but
Yeah, no, I'll be at it for a while, but thank you. That was very helpful. He kind of starts taking apart one of the sandwiches with the rest of the toppings on.
Perfect.
And I guess once Nordo's done cooking, he'll go find Gale.
Perfect.
Just Nordo has no deception score, so he probably walks in with like a cup of tea. It's like, hey, little dragon, I just figured I'd see if you wanted some tea this evening.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
And he just brings it and sets it down and like lingers too long in the doorway. What's you working on?
I'm just getting this heart fixed.
Is that what's it gonna do?
I have no idea, but God told me to fix it, so I'm gonna fix it.
It's good enough for me. All right then. You want me to bring you another cup of tea in an hour or so, or you gonna be up for a bit, or?
Yeah, Joker really messed this thing up. I'll probably be at this for a while.
How about some donut nuts? Give you enough fuel for the night.
Wait, you're giving me donut nuts?
Well, I'll get my donut nuts. I'm
Oh,
never
okay.
giving you the real ones ever again, but
Thank you.
Even on the deathbed, Norda has standards.
that's right. He'll go back to the kitchen and return hourly and like big wink at Mode every time he walks by the door. But yeah, that's what Norda does the rest of the night until he goes to sleep.
Oh God, they're onto me, and I pull out the rug and I put the semblance engine into it, and I'm like, okay.
Alright. Unless Gale actually pulls out the rug tonight.
No.
Okay.
I work on figuring out how I'm supposed to put this heart into the semblance engine and what I need to do there.
Sure. Give me a Tinker's Tools or an Arcana check, either one. First night is really rough. This is really advanced technology. You're making bits and pieces of. Honestly, you spend most of the first night like trying to figure out how much of this is really part of the heart and how much is something that Joker fucked up. By the end of it, you kind of stripped it down to what is just supposed to be there, and you're starting to figure out some of the basics of where you hook things up. You find a couple of connections that need to be made, and you are, by the end of the night, at least able to get it rigged and wired. It's not supplying power, it's not actually doing any sort of functionality, but it's at a decent stopping point for the first night, and you feel like over the next few nights you can probably start to make more progress on actually making it do its thing.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys are able to get through the night just fine. You get another short rest, get some more mana back, get a little bit more rage, and wake up once more. In Eisenmar, there's a little bit of a light drizzle today. You do notice that by today, there's been lots of news. There's kind of street criers on the corner that are announcing, the latest conjectures and theories about what the local mages think might be happening and what the monks are doing about it, and whether it's a threat to Eisenmar and its security, whether it's related to the island that crashed a few months ago. It's up to you guys if you want to actually start disseminating any sort of information about this.
May I?
Is this a turf war now? Are they on my turf? Are they crying on my turf?
I mean, there are news criers everywhere in the world, my friend.
This is a turf war, guys.
Do you want me to go kill them all for you, little orc?
No.
I'll help.
We'll absorb them. Monopoly.
If I've learned one thing for sure, doesn't say newsstand because he can't speak aloud. It's that monopolizing the media always leads to good things.
Always. Especially monopolizing it with an organization that's revolving around someone trying to become a god.
Right, for sure.
No.
It sounds like you guys do want to spend a little bit of today actually disseminating some truth to the people in charge. Luckily, you have some very good connection. Your mom is one of the top historians here, and she's closely associated with the monastic order. And assuming that you tell them the truth of what's going on, do you tell them everything? You tell them about Ozymandias, or how much do you tell them?
What is safe for them to know?
That is up to you. That is very hard for me to tell you.
By which I mean, what information, for example, everything the Deep Mother, that's secret and could harm Flick, for example. Right? And is that all information about the Deep Mother, or just a little bit?
All
of it, right? So we leave that out.
And I have lots of newslets.
Yeah, pitch me like a 2-sentence explanation of what you tell these people.
Wait, should I just skywrite it instead, guys?
Sure, that's not. Oh wait, gotcha.
I
could just tell everyone and they can get it prophesized to them.
I forgot you had that.
Yeah, you had that ability. But yeah, I think all they need to know is that what's the cause of these things, what they are, and what not to do with them. Right? Don't touch them, don't go through them. What safety precautions they should take.
Alright. When you say the cause of these things, you tell them about the Elbrat mine? You tell them that you guys were behind it?
I think so, yeah. I think that's important. I think I actually go there and start, preaching or whatever.
Alright. Do they ask, so what is the Elbrat mine? What... Do you tell them that there's literally the dead souls of everyone who's ever died in those, or...?
That doesn't seem like it would harm anyone. Sure.
Alright, excellent. That information is now out.
God, who let Nomad do this?
I'm assuming
Nomad.
I'm gonna help fact check and make sure that we're not giving out too much information.
Alright. So with all of you guys working together, do you go forward with that?
What exactly did he say? I was busy typing.
Not everyone needs to know that all the dead souls are in the Elbrot mine. I don't think that should be public.
that could cause a panic. We can maybe after we get things figured out.
That sounds like important information people need to know.
Well, they can find out about it after later.
Yeah, they can find out when they die.
Yep.
So you wish for them to not learn this truth.
Yep.
I'm not saying never. I'm just saying maybe not right now.
Currently.
We will Yes.
I kind of
Then we
feel
will-
like there's nothing that anyone can do with that information other than freak out. So maybe best to come back with that information once we have a fix.
Yeah, it sounds to me like the Elbrot mines are a safety net, preventing them from actually being devoured and lost to the Crosswinds. If anything, they
Yeah.
should feel happy about it.
Does this mean that the mind that we pulled from, if spirits die near that, if people die near that, do they go back into that, or do they just flow right into us? Or do they just go to a different mind?
Boy, give me an Arcana check.
This was a question I was asking directly to Nomad, our
Gotcha.
arcanist.
Sure. Nomad and Nomad help each other. For 35.
You would get the sense that what has happened is a connection and not a transfer. In other words, dead things are still going to go to Elbrot mines.
Yeah, they are still in the Elbrot mines. We are simply connected with them now. The things we do, like sharing truth, is going to help, determine this. I feel like they don't need to know that the souls are going to the Elbrot mine right now, but they need to know that the souls are going somewhere, and these are souls of dead people who have died in the past, which is not false.
But why do they even need to know that? They can just assume that, what happens to dead people happens to dead people.
So
Because
understand.
they need to know what the Elbrot mine is.
True, but I think you need to understand that information can be misused, and they can someone might try to construe that as, oh, these people are trying to devour souls for power, much like historically devils and demons do.
Yeah,
They could, but you can fix that.
I kind of feel like this information is best kept close until we've got a handle on things. I mean, there's too many parties interested in this. I know lots of y'all are smart people, would have read books all your life, but I was just a regular person, and I mean, what happens when you die? I don't think any of us ever really think about, or at least we all just have our own stories told to us by our moms and dads about what it is, and I don't know if some big newsletter telling everybody what happens when they die is going to be more good than harm at this stage. I think it's a good idea eventually, but maybe not right now.
We're just going to get the church mad at us, and also we're not supposed
The
to talk
church
about
is
the Crosswinds,
already-
So
Yeah,
It
the
would
church
give
is
them-
already
it
mad
would-
at us.
True,
I think
but then it could
the
give
only
the church
thing-
more fuel against us.
Yeah. Or we could take over the church, because this is
do we have time for
Information
that? I
the church-
don't think we have time for that.
Do you guys
Let's
think
not-
it should be legal to murder while the Elbrot mines are still active?
Should we have a purge? Let's not also forget that we were
Perhaps.
just in Seatool, where there's flyers everywhere with all of our faces and names telling everybody that we're flyers would have come to destroy the world. So
True, but I did do my Skyrate thing that gave everyone in Seatool Division that
sure,
was false information. So,
in one
Oh.
city.
but
About that, Vasu's mom would step in.
what'd she say?
These were delivered here, and we were supposed to put them up, but needless to say, we did not. And she gets a big old wooden crate stamped from Willing Quet, directly from Belmoral. And it is more of those flyers with all of your faces and wanted posters.
Don't worry, it's on the
all-
docket.
who is I most was out of character. I forget this. Who is that these flyers?
They are for you guys. They are trying
Yeah,
to
but who
pin...
who is the person who is
Um,
utilizing these
You
flyers?
guys are not 100% sure, but you suspect that Varder was behind it.
Who's Varder again?
He is
The
the guy
lizard
that you
guy.
killed once.
Lizard guy.
Twice
So we have
now.
to kill him
Druid.
again.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Have we
just
killed him
saying,
twice?
Maybe... No, only once.
No, we killed him once and then he escaped.
That's right.
I'm just saying, maybe while the whole world is looking for us and thinks that we're evil monsters, ain't the best time to be putting out information about.
Us having souls of the dead inside of us.
Needless to say, what must be told is that this is dangerous. They shouldn't interact with it because things can get lost in them.
Yes, I think that's a good
Yes.
idea.
All right.
I think what we might do is we might say that something along the lines of great minds have studied them and have shown that these can be dangerous, and to try to avoid them if you can.
Perfect. You kind of give a minimal explanation indicating that there was some sort of a big magic device, but you don't know the details, and that
Yeah.
disturbing it has caused these minute tears, and that they should be careful and not stick their fingers in them. And that it puts a lot of people's mind at ease, just knowing that someone knows what's going on. And they begin to disseminate that news. They kind of explain that they have it on good sources from experienced arcanists, but not specifically you guys or your name. Just a little bit more information about what's going on. And some of them are like, oh yeah, that's just one more theory to add to the list. And some of them take it on good authority because they're hearing it from the town's oldest and most important historian and, the order of monks that are sworn to protect the place. So you make some good progress on kind of helping calm the place down.
What are some of the theories? Like, what do people say is happening?
Oh my god, some of them think it's an apocalypse. Some of them genuinely think that it's connected to the sudden appearance of all this weird yellow powder that explodes when it touches water. There are people that think it is the end of days, that the apocalypse is coming, that the gods are mad. Some people think that it is warfare. They think that the dragons are behind it, that Korax is readying for another push. They think that this weird yellow powder might be like dragon's breath that's been condensed or something like that. There's all sorts of crazy theories.
This may sound weird, but who do we kill to get rid of our bounties?
You would...
The Emperor.
No, I was gonna save it for later, but I also asked this question, but as part of this question probably, before we leave the dinner table, I like give my mom a big hug, and I'm like, thanks, Mom. I wouldn't do any sort of crime requiring a bounty, and if I did, I wouldn't leave any witnesses. But also, who asked you to put these up?
Your dad kind of like, that's my boy.
Love you too, Dad.
They were shipped here. The guard forwarded them up from Greencastle. Apparently came all the way from Balmoral.
Wow.
Eh?
We've got a big name for ourselves, gentlemen.
Yeah, whoever doesn't like you guys is real concerned.
My parents not know who's producing them.
I also just want to know, is this like a collective bounty for the whole party, or do we all have posters individually? And if so, who has the highest bounty?
So I would need to go pull it up. I don't actually know if there's a listed bounty for all of you guys. It's more of a warning. It's a dissemination of information. They're trying to pin you guys as, like, there are evil cultists that are trying to reawaken an ancient fire god. Join us if you are interested in hunting them down. It's like a we want you sort of poster, like a World War I poster or whatever. And you would be aware, just because you all live in this world, and most of you are from Willingquest, for something to get disseminated this far, and especially all the way up to Eisenmar, which is technically just an allied country, it's not even part of Willingquest, it would have to come from really high up. It would have to come from Willingquest military.
The king.
From the king. Who canonically looks like a non-cartoony version of the Burger King.
Right, so
Right.
we either have to convince the king or kill him.
And it comes from the military there. The king could probably put that order out, but it's the military that almost certainly put it all in motion.
It must be the military, because the king would want us to have it our way.
Anyway, it sounds like the plan is you're going to send Leah and Leo and Sal and the rest of your NPCs to start flying down towards Unmirage. You guys are going to take the rug to Mechanist and then do your adventure there and then rejoin them back in Unmirage.
I hate to ask a sort of probably meta question,
Sure.
but would Philo have known about the eventual dealings with his boat after his presumed
Give me
powderization, I guess this was?
Yeah, you can give me just a luck check, a purely meta luck check.
Oh.
There, at some point in your discussion of everything that had happened while you were down there, there was talk of the dragons that you had encountered along the way, trying to suss out, like, hey, you said you had dragons in the city. Do you know any of them? Do you know this name? Do you know this name? Do you know this name? And he does recognize one. the one that you spoke to, Alexena, as the ultimate recipient of the ship that was temporarily left with Ozaratnum. Nope, wrong name. Wrong Oz. There's so many Oz's. The good one, the silver one.
There's too many Oz's.
Too many Oz's. I'm never making this mistake again.
Ozdakaska.
Ozdakaska. What a fucking... Look at that. Look at that badass.
Used to be Lore Keeper.
Hell yeah. And
Former Lore Keeper.
He is delighted to hear that that dragon is still alive and friendly with you guys. And probably suspects that his ship is still up there.
Oh, good. He's got my boat. Sorry, I started with the Vasu voice.
And although
Transitioning is hard.
Although this is happening off
It
screen.
also doesn't help that I never established a voice for Philo.
Yeah. That's where I was with my first character, too. I didn't even, think about doing a voice for Valkyrie. But now I assume that he sounds exactly like Ash from Fantastic Mr. Vogue.
Oh, I think I say from
That's
Pokemon.
No.
I imagine Vasu with some sort of, Louisiana or Creole drawl to him.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, because Port Fortune and all that.
Nordo has this accent because it's the only accent that I can do.
Yeah, it
You can do a lot of
honestly,
accents, that's
it
a
honestly
lie.
probably sounds like a lighter Nordo voice. I just don't know how to do it, and every time I try to, I just end up sounding like the guy from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Uh-huh.
My only accents
Is that
are
bad?
Nordo
It's
and
not,
shitty
but it's
British
a bit more
accent.
south than I figured. Sorry for talking over you.
I think I was talking over you. We were talking over each other.
It was a
Like
a
friends.
harmonious
It
experience.
was
We
mutual.
talked over each other.
I will say, Zeke, that the voice that still sticks with me was that asshole elf from RC1, the one who was
Oh, yeah.
the one who ended up being a dragon.
Oh, Luthien, yep.
My
Like
favorite
meaty.
voice you do is your Button'sworth.
Button'sworth
yeah.
is a good voice.
Who's Button'sworth?
He's the butler of Frog, an old man that's just like Toadsworth from Mario.
Oh, I love him.
Totally insufferable.
I love him already.
He's wonderful.
What's everybody's favorite voice of mine?
The
And
Jamboree voice, obviously.
don't
No,
say
it's not.
Sal.
It's Sal. It's definitely Sal.
Definitely Vasu for me. It
Really?
just brings me so much. It just brings me so much joy.
It's probably my favorite to do, honestly.
Yeah, I'll never forget that time that you told me a story about your real life, but you used the Vasu voice, and it just killed me.
All right. Before we venture too off, because we're pretty close to wrapping up anyway, it sounds like we will pull the trigger on that rug and get sent to Mechanist. In order for me to prepare, if that is what you guys are doing, let's see that D6. Let's see where you guys end up. And also tell me where you're trying to go.
Mechana.
The lever to the cellar door in Mechanist.
Excellent. All right.
Excellent.
Oh no.
Is this like golf where one is good?
Definitely not.
Hope so.
It's not.
It's a nearby location strongly associated with natural or environmental danger.
Fucking sick.
Oh boy.
Well,
Is there any nature in Mechana?
environmental is, it's there.
We end up in that one plane, or that one part of Mechanist where a bunch of gears and walls collide.
How
And just get that kind of
exciting.
Half-Life stuck sound effect.
You guys feel your bodies tugged through the ether. And as you are pulled, you feel just this rattling like you're in an airplane going through heavy turbulence. You hear the clanging of metal. The smell of oil begins to kind of pervade your nostrils. Some of you kind of have this burning sensation in your eyes as these acrid, kind of metallic, just smells and sounds begin to pervade your eyes and ears. And you land with a little bit of a violent thud on a cold metal surface in a mostly dark room that is illuminated only by a handful of red pinpricks of light, 3 of them overhead in kind of a line. There is a layer about 6 inches thick on the floor around you guys of just debris, scrap copper springs, cogs that have bent teeth, just junk metal. You can see that about 200 feet up, there's a tiny chute that opens for just a flash. You see a little bit of daylight, and then it closes blink of an eye, as fast as you could possibly imagine it. Something falls down. It's more junk that kind of just rains down next to all of you.
We're like in that trash thing from the original Star Wars.
Yeah, we're in the Death Star's trash compactor.
You sure are, and with perfect, wonderful timing, about 6 seconds after you all stand up and try to make heads or tails of where you've ended up, you hear this metal churning from both sides,
No.
and you see spiked walls, one on your left, one on your right, begin to close in from about 50 feet away on each side. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Well, that's horrifying.
Oh, great.
It's okay. I'm gonna pick up Norda with my little forklift and fly out of here.
It's perfect. I've got a shell. I'm fine.
Excellent.
That thing can't crush me.
Also, you can just destroy it. You're a siege weapon.
I'm a siege weapon. I'll break it. Let's see if I don't. Is it too late to say that before we depart, I would have casted Alacrity on myself and my buddy Yale?
Nah, that's fair. It's an all-day
Okay.
buff.
Thanks.
Sick dying buddy.
I assume that Vossy
My
probably also
sick,
does his
dying buddy Gale.
his ritual with somebody too.
No, does
Yeah, I
his
can't
exercise of
remember what spell
Gale.
it was.
Says, don't worry, little dragon, I'll keep an eye on you.
God.
Is
Thanks,
something
Norda.
going on?
Now we're
Nothing
just
is
doing our
going
usual
on.
stretches.
Nothing. It's all totally normal stuff.
And there is someone.
Ooh, I get my
watching
insect plague back.
behind you.
Oh, I have something that could easily help us.
I love having no wisdom and never needing to insight anything.
God, it's so
I
frustrating.
don't know,
switching
man. I
between a
have no
character who
charisma,
has-
so.
Dump stats
It's
are
the-
the best. I can't imagine not being bad at least a couple things. I think
It's really
being bad at lying has been my favorite so far, though.